Hello? Hello everyone! Welcome! Welcome to this next episode of Psycholonials! Welcome my Jubilites! I hope you're all doing okay today. It's me, your girl, Wixie Woos. Hello! Hello, Paula! Hello! Hello, Ness! Hello, Sir Winger! Hello, Gene! How is everyone doing? How are all of you? Oh, thank you so much, Jackie! No, wait, not to leave! Don't leave! Oh, I got to choke! I got to choke! Hope you're ready to have my clown sauna do the rest of the stream. Oh boy, I have been holding off on this. I have been waiting to see all of your reactions, and I am so happy I didn't tell anyone. Oh boy. I just got on the full circus! Step 1, step 2, step crimes. Oh, Jimmy, you got me down to clown! And all it took was... oh my god, thank you, Neff! You all did it. So. Our clown. You know, Psycholonials, it's going to be heavy. Last episode was quite heavy. It's going to still be heavy. The heaviness is not going to stop, so, be warned. If you're coming in and didn't see the first episode for some reason, first of all, please do! So don't spoil yourself on the game if you haven't checked it. Second of all, please be careful, because there could be death, there could be, police brutality and shit. There is going to be political and pandemic references, so... My clown sauna name is Wixie Woos. Let me type it in chat. Wixie Woos. That's me. Not Jiggle Tits! Stop that! Stop that! There we go. 131 vibes. Wixie Woos! Yes, that's me! Do you like it, Jackie? You all like it, huh? Your girl, Wixie Woos. I am just going to be opening the fucking Psycholonials game. Before this, everything is more real. Wixie Woos, these nuts, no! Oh, please. Oh. You learned so much, thank you! This story is also not suitable for minors, but also my streams in general are not suitable for minors, so don't throw peanuts at me! God. Wixie woolaloo, woolaloo. More like Wixie woolaloo. So, we were on the beginning of the fucking... Yeah, we were on the ending of the 4th episode, and right on to the beginning of the 5th. We're getting out in the next few minutes. Is it me or is it a little bit? That, for some reason, is too loud. Stuck pig. Oh yeah, I made the reference that the pig is like 100% going to be the police. Where we're dropping, clowns? We're dropping in the old restaurant Z used to work in and just made out with fucking oh boy. Beatboxing quack. Okay, let's see how this continues. You couldn't go back to Abby's house after your second and third cop murders of the year, and Abby couldn't exactly stay where she was either. Ooh, yeah, of course. The police could surely be knocking on her door again soon, especially considering it was her Bentley, which was used to ram the car of the slain officers. Oh fuck, yeah, she's involved now. Like, actually, like, basically involved. So you rented an Airbnb close to your old restaurant and walked there once it was dark. Abby drove to meet you at the house, which is where you're all staying now until you can think of a better plan. Oh boy. This place is creepy and weird. This footage is showing up everywhere I look. It's so surreal. How did we even get here, Z? We got here because these shitheads don't know when to stop pushing it. I know that footage makes it look like I'm just icing these cops like a hardened criminal, but could I just remind everybody this only started because a cop almost murdered me in cold blood? I was just defending myself that night, and that's all I was doing yesterday too. I was defending Purse too, because he didn't do shit. Oh, look at him! He's so fucking happy! How are you happy about this situation, Purse? You fucking simp! Well, I mean, aside from helping us rip off your parents, but that's a victimless crime anyway. Oh, yeah, you're right! It's not even that you're wrong about any of that, it's just, goddamn, we're in so much trouble right now. Oh, well, yeah, the guy is pretty much out of the fucking bag now, isn't it? This is fine, smile. There's no denying anymore that the footage has made the rounds in the media. They're in a frenzy over it. I'm thinking of just coming clean and telling our fans the original story. 3 murders in 1 year? Yeah. I'm an accomplice to murder! Smiley face. I am not just ripping off a rich people, I am also accomplice to murder! And a fucking runaway from justice. Are you sure that's a good idea? Abby, have you seen the discourse around this? Like, obviously corporate media is painting me as a bad guy, but everyone else, like the people who actually matter to our movement, they're talking about me like some kind of folk hero. This mess-up is actually incredibly good for business, just like it was when the news story came out linking me to the first dead cop. It's not even like I planned this shit, but it turns out waging war against the police is entirely compatible with the prank we're building here. Yeah, it is! Yeah, it is, actually. You know, those cops just fell on those bullets! I know that. Can you see where I'm coming from, though? I'm just scared about what could happen to us. Like, we're so deep with these money crimes, too. What if they find out about that? Oh, I mean, they did find out. That's why the cops busted Percy, remember? Oh, she doesn't want to tell him yet that she framed him for murder the first time. I thought they busted him because you sent them a photo of him once. What? No, I mean, okay, yeah, but that was an accident. Like, yes, first I should have mentioned, one time I fucked up and accidentally let a photo of you slip. But I didn't give your name or anything, it was an innocent mistake. But, so maybe that's why they busted you? Who can even really say at this point? I like that he doesn't even get a more detailed sprite. He just stays like this. Really feel like Percy is no longer facing reality after the questionable interaction with Z at the end of the chapter. Yeah. Also, hello, Taku! Everyone fucking loved it and hated it! I am so happy! Thank you so much, Taco, Luke, and all of you on the server for, like, suggesting I do this. Percy really is just over right. Let me check. Hello? Ooh. Yeah, okay, this is good. Boop. Anyway, I made a daring rescue attempt and kill your captors, and now here you are. So everything's cool. Great kill, right? Pat, and he just smiles. You fucking simp. You personality-less fucking simp. You're just going to do awful things with you. Oh my god, Jackie! Is the clown paint bringing out the dom in you? Is that it? Is that all it took? Wakraya skyrocket on the clothes. What is that? So I'm confused. Did the cops find or not out of Bitcoin scams or not? I mean, probably not. I doubt it actually. But when you think about it, what crime is it even being committed? To be honest, on paper it really just looks like a father has been working with his daughter to buy a bunch of bitcoins. And the money just wound up in a family account, your account. If they want to prove a crime was committed, I guess they can try, but from where I'm standing it looks like cop murder caught on tape is a crime they're prepared to take a lot more seriously. Despite his sameness, you still like him, that's fair. Also, you simp, also Wack simps over Zianabi, and also over Jackie, don't forget Jackie. Yeah, which doesn't actually make me feel much better. I can't even go back to my house now. What about my horse? I need to feed him. Don't worry about Dave Hoof. We'll figure out a way to get that boy fed. I'll make sure he's the fattest horse on the island when all is said and done. I'm working on solutions to all of this. Not to doubt your master plan, but what could possibly be the solution to this? Are you going to use your billions to buy off the police? No way, I'm not giving the cops a fucking dime of hard-earned money. My plans were already in the works way before yesterday's incident. Horse Count 16? Did you? I don't even know at this point. Are you all keeping good track? Said seeing someone for arrest can make up for framing a guy for murder. Yeah, but he's like happy, so it doesn't matter, maybe? I wish you'd actually let me in all your secret plans. I'm your partner in crime. You're supposed to be able to trust me. I trust you, Abs. I just don't always want to overwhelm you with too much information. Over 9,000 by the end of it, I bet. You've been doing so great with your dad. It could be a shame to clutter your head with new things to worry about. Well, now my head is really cluttered because of certain police assassinations taking place in broad daylight, captured on videos which are not going viral. So can't you just tell me what is going on? You'll see. We're gonna get home some help soon. This is actually why I had Prince come yesterday. I'll need a hand coordinating this. What do you mean help? Oh no, your cough is getting worse. I really hope it's not. I'm sure it's... Oh, jeez. I'm sure it's not that. I've been pushing too hard, shooting cops, scurrying around, catching a little cold, that's all. Besides, I've been checking my toes out every day. Not a single COVID toe inside. What do you mean, COVID toe? I don't think that's really an indication of anything. I'd suggest you get tested, but... Man, even people who aren't fugitives can barely get tested. Don't worry, I'm fine. Pretty sure I've got like herd immunity by now or something. That's not how it works! A single person can't have herd immunity! I think you were supposed to be smart. Think again, bitch. Anyway, I don't even want to be late for this thing that's about to happen. Come on, Paris, it's time to go for a drive. You're really just going out for a drive after that, huh? You and Percy head... Oh boy, is he catching the virus? I don't... know if it's a virus, but oh boy. John Percy head to Abby's car. She brought a BMW this time, which is a bit less noticeable than cruising around the island in a Bentley. There are a dime a dozen around here. What a mood. I know, right, Jackie? You are such a C-though. You'll miss the Bentley though. It served you well, especially in its final moments when it was used as a several $100,000 battering ram. To the other side, huh? Percy has no idea where you're going. All he can do is glance at your phone sometimes, which you're holding for navigation purposes. You've set the destination for a place near Jackson Point, which is one of the westmost parts of the island. A place that can facilitate boating activity in a way that's far more discreet than anything going on by the docks near the downtown area. A few times Percy attempts some small talk. You humor him, nodding along, occasionally turning to your head to throw him a smile. Seems like he's skirting the topic of his feelings? Something like that. That's nice, Percy. You're super flat and all, but it could behoove him to come to grips with the magnitude of what's about to take place on this island. Behoove? Is that a, like, another horse reference? When Jackie started a clown cult and first recruits? That sounds like you and Jackie relationship. You were smart, think again, bitch. In a way, but like both ways. Please, Percy, draw yourself a better face. Yeah, he doesn't get a face! It's not, in the not-too-distant future, some very loud noises may be assailing his ears, but they won't be coming from wedding bells. Hello? Whoa! You pull up near the docks and get out of the BMW to find a bunch of guys hanging around. Percy looks bewildered, but your confident demeanor assures him this is part of the plan. This guy has they have weapons! You study his reaction as he connects the dots. Of course he knows what's going on, now he's seeing their reactions, not to him, but to you. They're all looking awestruck by your approach. He must realize now these guys you invited to come to the... Oh, just like him, but they didn't come by a ferry. They arranged their own transport via privately owned boats. You say nothing for a moment, taking it all in. You bask in the hushed reverence. Their disposition is becoming quite familiar to you. Just another bunch of Sims for your collection. Your clown cult is just a strange followers, Jackie. I like this guy. This guy is like the seasoned. Once he's me. Again, just... One's has completely different utility than Percy, one's that aren't nearly as soft. You begin eyeing some of the hardware they brought. They came well equipped, just as instructed. These plans were in the works all week, and some of these boats took well over a day of sailing to get here. As you assess your new recruits, you can feel Percy fidgeting to your side. Clearly he wants some answers. He's wondering why you didn't tell him about this earlier. The Zemp? You think she may be now you think she may be going a bit too far? So I like this one. They are my fave, I think. I'm telling you now, aren't I? He obviously can't dispute that, but his body language is still unsatisfied. That's fine. Now precisely the time to debrief him so he knows how he fits in the plan. Sorry, Perez, this was top secret stuff, and we were so busy with financing operations which were more important. I've been back-channeling with some of our most dedicated followers, once in for the long haul. Guys like you know? I asked guys with boats to rally other guys pretty close by. They organized low-key trips here to the west side, no ferries, no downtown action, no heat from the cops. He's clearly grappling with the behind-the-scenes logistic of this, the who's, the where's, the when's. She has a fleet? Oh, the Briska is now like flowing through. She's a pirate now. Team Z. I think at this point the only option is to go further. Oh my boy. Oh boy. Z really is starting a cold gorilla. Didn't you slip step? She speed around to the clown army. Some of these boats are from the Massachusetts coast, a few from Long Island. We got sailors here from all up and down the eastern seaboard actually. Last I checked with the guys on point, we all had almost 20 boats headed here, but there might have been more added since. You couldn't believe how psyched these guys were to get an invite. Well, maybe you would. They're good people, just a bunch of dedicated, hardworking Jubilites, ready and willing to step up and do some crazy shit. Percy looks overwhelmed. Oh, maybe even intimidated to the untrained eye, but you know that isn't it. You can tell exactly what it is. It's concerned that his role of importance may be rapidly diminishing before his eyes. You put a stop to that quickly. Don't worry, Percy. I brought you here for a reason. You'll be out front leading this crew in terms of the necessary logistics. Look at this shit. Just a bunch of dudes on boats after a long voyage, wondering what the fuck to do, where to go, whatever. You'll take the reins of that, but you gotta be careful since the cops are still crawling all over this island looking for us, okay? He nods more confidently this time. Hello? Hello, person? Who are you? He's just... What the fuck do you think this is? A gathering of the fucking juggalos? Well, it isn't. Not yet, at least. Don't worry, there will be a time and place to wear the paint, but... Hello? Hello? Am I back? Do I exist, chat? Chat? Chat! 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 Okay, let me... Wait. Ooh. Hello? Hello? God, let me... restore this... and open this again. About... Oh, there we go! Oh my god. What a fucking nightmare. Hello? Hello! Sorry about that. Oh, hello, Olive! You just got me right after, like, having technical issues. My internet just... basically... Saki was playing with Jade next to the fucking router and she junked it right out, trying to chase the ball. We had to reconnect the fucking router. With the clowns. I have been working on more important things. Let me get everything back together. There we go. This is where I will tell her, not Jade from Homestuck. Jade, the dog my boss has. The big fucking eldritch dog she keeps as a pet. Last time! Hello! It's me, Wixie Woos! Okay, so... what was the last thing I said? Did I finish reading this page? You know what, I will just read it. I saw it in the looping thing before the PRB kicked in. Oh no, it doesn't? Oh fuck. Oh fuck, yeah, chat is stuck. Let me... Chatbox bottom, itchy capture, power alert, bottom chat. Here, let me refresh this. Oh my god! Oh my god! Well, it updates now. It's done. It worked. The paint. You like the paint, huh? You're all working, but also here. Hello, Squiddo! I'm glad you're around. Well, it isn't. Not yet, at least. Don't worry. There'll be a time and place to wear the paint. But for now, you play it straight. Plain clothes, plain faces. You're all just a bunch of average locals, understood. I booked you all a bunch of Airbnbs, so make yourself comfortable. Good chat stuck be the chat playing suburb, probably. And I don't see much of a reason why you should be making plans to honor your checkout dates, if you know what I mean. We're digging the fuck in. Everybody cool with that? It's interesting, she's literally planting a fucking militia of like of Jubilites in the island. First, make sure all these guys get to wherever they need to be. Ubers, taxis, rent some vans, jack some cars, however you want to do it. Counting on you, man. Now everybody get moving. Yeah. Clown session! Oh! Give me that! Why do you need an assault rifle? Oh! I've got some content to manage. Oh, see? Oh, see? 2 weeks later! Sports. Big gun. 16 million? Oh! Wife, says Jackie? What couldn't she... Okay, she does need, but... Oh my god. Hello, Plagued! Z, make them pay. After 2 weeks... I am not a gun-sized queen. I actually hate guns. Except, you know, like... sci-fi or fantasy guns. Those are cool. But like real like military guns are like military grade guns are kind of iffy for me. Only worrying over our heads, he's doing fine. More than 1 million followers on Instagram, you get a free assault rifle. It's the equivalent of the play button. After 2 weeks of constant media coverage of your recent exploits, your band has skyrocketed. Both the video captured by a witness and the dashcam footage have been playing constantly. Members of the press have gathered on the island to cover the manhunt, while the police presence has grown. Stay for long, but how good? Thank you so much! Oh my god! But the intensification of recent events hardly has been limited to circumstances on the island. The entire country has suddenly ignited in civil unrest over police brutality and the extrajudicial murders of black people at the hands of law enforcement. Something is stirring in America. It's as if the more comfortable parts of the nation decided to finally wake up to the fact that they've been living in a police state for longer than most previously cared to admit. Oh boy, and they're using her and her movement as like a symbol of against the police state. Oh my god! But you've noticed another development cropping alongside a wave of righteous political action. Leeching off the roiling energy of the nation, Jubilites have begun their own gatherings in huge numbers. At first, no one thinks much of another few gangs of painted buffoons slipped in between the garish tram motorcades and doom boat parades, but before you know it, you can barely point a camera anywhere without televising another preposterous gaggle of circus riffraff clowned up behind their masks. Certainly too many clowns for the comfort of corporate media, but if you're being honest, maybe too many for yours as well. You begin to wonder what you have unleashed upon the nation. Quickly, social media seems to realize that this was a different flavor of political action. The sheer number of clowns with guns roaming the streets are making the people with all the money and power very nervous. Like maybe the usual methods of media propaganda aimed at subduing these movements won't work on this crowd. Oh my god! They have riot shields with the fucking Jubilite insignia and they're... Oh my god! It is a fucking revolution of clowns. There is a sense that once the clowns are out of the barn, closing the door won't do much good. And maybe there's something to it. As the police escalated their violent brutality in retaliation to the unrest, the Jubilites seized up on the chaos. Once they saw it was possible to drive police out of an area by force, they grew bolder in their aggression. No longer were your clowns an aimless gathering of oddities, a sideshow of loitering farciers. They were hijacking the political atmosphere towards their own objectives, and in turn, yours. Your detractors got a lot of airtime vilifying your followers for perpetuating a righteous social movement, and you find it hard to disagree with the point, but neither the slander from bad faith corporate shills, nor the legitimate criticism from genuine activists ever seem to stick. Jackie says that this game is a to-do list, huh? The spectacle of it drew even more people in, who could begin wearing the paint, and the more painted faces showed up, the more your movement appeared to stake its claim as a force entirely distinct from the origins of the civil unrest. A force now taking the momentum of your once modest social media campaign and flooring it. It now looks like police precincts everywhere may start falling like dominoes, and you see no reason to tell your people to take their huge floppy shows off the gas pedal. Oh, look at it! Look at them! Oh my god. Sarah's basically wanted to be on unrest in US. It was because hijacked by a white girl. She's not a white girl. She's actually like Asian coded. Z is very coded to be like Asian American. And yeah, like this is a story written by a white person, but I mean, it is not bad in what it's doing so far, so I am willing to give it a good look. The dark silhouette is very good, but you can't put too much personal focus on what's happening around the country because there's way too much happening locally you need to deal with. You'll be ordering your new recruits to take care of business here on the island while you're in foresighting. You have a team dedicated to making sure Abby's horse stays fed, for instance. Yeah, Hasi has had a lot of moments in their career. With the help of Percy, an infrastructure of local Jubilite activity is beginning to emerge, which can operate somewhat autonomously from your direct supervision. Your inner circle, directly overseeing this infrastructure, has begun calling itself Ring 3. Yeah, a lot of people could have problems with it. On the other hand, too, Hasi has been involved in, like, you know, like, with the whole What Punking team, which, like, also has been, like, has members that have been out, like, fighting in the actual, like, you know, like, riot stuff going on last summer. God, yeah. But I mean, I think this is a good growth of, like, if Hasi doesn't want to shy away from, like, political fuckery like this and, like, wants to go all fucking in, at least they are, like, doing something that I think it's cool. Yeah, I'm interested where this will go. Being able to delegate important stuff is good news considering your health has been in decline. After showing symptoms of COVID-19, you decided to self-quarantine in the Airbnb. Oh boy, Abby and Percy rented another across town while trying to stay out of view. Oh boy, Abby! You got the virus. Looks like he has the Solux horns. The clown designs are very good. You hold down the old fort all by yourself. Keep your eyes out for classes of inserting themselves. I'm sure they will. You hold down the old fort all by yourself. You have plenty of time alone to plot a scheme in between your coffin fits and fevered visions. Admittedly, this is not the most fun you've had during your brand's rise to international notoriety. The carefree days of drinking expensive wine at Abby's house while in perfect health and bullshitting about gender are starting to feel like a distant memory. But the administrative needs of your movement don't take a break just because you get sick. The show must go on. Oh my god! Also, Sarwinger, you may not know, but Hasi is clown gender. Like, Hasi has come out as clown gender, and they use every pronoun, and in the What Punkin statement they did about Hasi leaving, they use they them pronouns. In Homestuck, they showed a hell of a lot of improvement. Yeah, absolutely. With, like, queer issues. And now, the actual, like, gender spectrum thing is actually cool. Because he's no running boundaries and loves to troll people, thinks they will never think they have grown. In a way. Look at the cast page once. I didn't realize anyone had names until it was done. Since that day, you went with Percy to meet the first few recruits fresh off their boats. Thousands of additional Jubilites have infiltrated the island using the same methods. Boats arrive at the Western Docks, usually at night. They unload and head back to the mainland for more, while the new recruits settle in wherever they can. Airbnbs and campsites mostly, while some continue living on their boats and others break into empty summer homes. The fact that thousands of radicalized plainclothes clowns are now covertly occupying this island is the basis for the next series of operations you're planning. To the untrained eye, your schematics may appear to be total madness, but as you assure yourself frequently, it is anything but. As far as you're concerned, your name could belong with the great tacticians of history for someday, but only if you can maintain your focus and see this through, which you must admit has been pretty difficult with the illness ravaging your body and mind, and with these ambitions getting more... Mom? Is that Mother? There she was again, at least you think that was her. It's always hard to be sure when it's happening in your peripheral vision, or the periphery of your imagination, you guess. It's strange that you've been seeing her more often than him lately. He was never off from your disturbed hallucinations for obvious reasons. The way he died, the nature of the sickness, and what it did to him, it left a mark on your psyche that will probably never go away. But her? You started falling out and never spoke again. Is it guilt that's causing your mind to conjure her? You wrestle with the questions for days, until finally an unassuming email that you stumble on in your spam folder provides you with an answer. Someone was trying to collect on a medical bill of some sort. It's an ambulance fee, actually, an ambulance that it was used about 2 months ago. They're trying to collect the bill from you, but the person originally billed wasn't you, it was her. The fact that they're trying to collect from you instead of your mother must mean... It couldn't be, could it? You do some digging. You call the hospital where the ambulance dropped her off. After some time on hold, you confirm it's not the fact that she's dead that blows your mind, it's the date, April 20th. She got COVID-19 in early April and died on 4/20. The day this lunacy all began. She's been dead for almost 7 weeks and you never even knew it. Oh, you wanna go buy dinner, but oh, come on, Jackie, you can catch afterwards, don't worry. Aside from being stunned by the revelation, you feel nothing. You only ever had one bullet of grief in the chamber, and you used that when your dad died. You made the most of that bullet too. Use it to drive yourself insane, quit school, and run off to an island. If your dead mom is expecting any tears from you, she's shit out of luck. But you know she couldn't be expecting anything of that sort. It's why she never called. Maybe she had different plans for you, plans she didn't even know she had, or an impact on your life she didn't know she was causing. Perhaps it was the invocation of a dying curse from a bitter old woman, and that's what you have been contending with ever since the night she passed. You don't really associate the death of parents with grief or loss anymore. That was just another of the society's lies that these were things you were supposed to feel. Instead, you feel like the departure represents a burdensome torch that is being passed, an inheritance of sorts. All the psychological baggage a parent accumulates their whole life. And when they die, that lifetime of manic energy, the striving and struggling, and the failures and disappointments, the things they wish they became but never did, all of it has nowhere to go when the body dissolves, so it all flows right into you. That's how it was with your dad, watching him slip away slowly. The feeling of initial sadness for him gradually twisted into something that was nothing like sadness at all, more like a screaming inside that got louder every day. You watched his desperation grow as he knew the end was near. He was being devoured in his final days by the feeling that he wasn't given nearly enough time on Earth. He felt so far short of turning his life into the thing he once imagined it could be, and the result of staring into the abyss was utter panic. And where does all that panic go? Who feels the blame, the sense of accusation, the demented rage of the unfairness of it all? It was you. Your true inheritance is this tortured understanding, an implied contract since the day of your birth that you will all be that remains of his legacy, and now it's up to you to bring meaning to familiar continuity into his life, into a life he just went to painful lengths to make clear he barely even considered worth living himself. Oh boy, there he is. But you had no intention of honoring the inheritance. The contract was worthless, probably because you never agreed to it. But more importantly, you gained disturbing insight into its author in the process of watching him die. You didn't lose respect for him. It was somehow worse than that. You began to question his agency as a human being. You questioned his humanity itself. As the sickness tore away at him, it took little bits of his mind along the way. Your father's intellect and personality were being dismantled in such alarming ways, you began to wonder if you even knew what a human being was anymore. But you don't really wonder anymore. You think you simply understand now. A person is a phenomenal illusion, carefully held together by healthy neurons, which once disrupted appear as a series of hellish algorithms firing the wrong way, all the time, for the express purpose of creating horror in all those who believe they love them. They believed they loved him because they believed he was real, not merely a jumble of algorithmic insanity which just happened to be executing in a proper sequential order most of the time. Is that what you are too? A bunch of psychopathic inhuman algorithms firing until you get everyone who joins your movement killed? Or your algorithms aren't quite satisfied with that until you rip this country apart and get everyone killed? The coughing fits are heavier now, more frequent. You know this must be her influence. It makes no sense in any scientific way, but you can just feel it. Her ghostly hand closing around your throat. Your dad's curse was bestowing his existential insanity upon you, the burden of striving for the American dream which cracked your brain and sent you running away for good. Your mom never forgave you for it, so her dying curse is this disease, the same one that claimed her. And you know how she thinks. Why shouldn't you have to suffer the same way she did? COVID-19 is highly contagious, but you wonder if anyone's yet realized it can be transmitted psychically by a vengeful spirit. It's probably time to just throw in the towel, just stop all this running and hiding, and turn yourself over to the cops before you can endanger anyone else. Sure, you've disappointed a lot of people that way. Millions have become deeply invested in your defiance of this brutal, imperialistic police state. But the disappointment resulting from letting them all down could be a blessing at this point, relative to the scale of damage that the misfires of your algorithmic insanity could be truly capable of. Oh god, she's really bad. Or maybe you don't even need to turn yourself in. Maybe the fact that your mom is trying to kill you here and now is the final act of mercy for you and everyone else. Maybe it just knocked you off before you even get the chance to realize your full destructive potential. Go ahead, you... you bitch! This is what you want! That isn't it, Mom? Go ahead and fucking drag me into the fucking grave with you already! Ding dong. You heard the doorbell ring? Now who the fuck could that be? Okay, so I want to... Yeah... I want to comment on some things, because that was a very extremely heavy sequence. Thank you! I was actually coughing, because I irritated my throat trying to do the cough. So that was like genuine. I can understand Z's point of view about family, because I do not get along with my family. I really do not get along with them. Didn't get along with them. And, you know, there is, like, truth to what she's saying. Like, obviously she's delirious and, like, exaggerating on this, and maybe there is some guilt to it, but at the same time, I absolutely understand the idea of seeing family as the farcical societal thing that it is when your parents aren't someone you actually get along with. They put expectations on you, they have these dreams and hopes for the future for you, and then you do not live up to them. So they just, you know, they say they loved you and they seem like they loved you, but they actually love the version of you that they have built in their mind. You end up distant from them because you hide who you are, because they actually don't like the person you actually are. And then that rift just keeps growing apart more and more, and it ends like, you know, in the end, they are just people that they raised you maybe, and they maybe, you know, they seem to care for you at first, but when you look into it and like see exactly what they're doing to you, it's like, no, they are loving a different person and trying to make me into that person. So I can understand absolutely where she's coming from, and the idea of like an inheritance on death, of like this karmic will being passed down. So engaging. Oh, see ya, Jackie. Get some food. But yeah, like, and of course, like, people can have good relationships with their family, and people can, like, make up with them after, like, a fallout, and there's no reason not to make up to them in that sense. But at the same time, I absolutely understand the sentiment that when a family member dies, maybe you feel a sadness initially, a twang of it, but then it fades away into, it fizzles, like, yeah, like, what were they to me? Like, why am I expected to have to feel sad to someone who actually didn't care for me and didn't provide for me in a way that actually helped me? To someone that actually was a detriment to me and like maybe hurt me in some way. And like that's why I feel family is less of a, you know, a blood bond and more of a chosen bond. And it happens that some people get along with the people they were born from and they actually have a good relationship. But then you have the people who don't, and you can simply, I don't think you can simply dismiss, I think you can make a read that she has a lot of grief and like guilt packed up in her, but I also think you cannot dismiss the idea that she genuinely doesn't care about them and is like struggling with the feelings of knowing she doesn't care, but also feeling the twang of pain in the chest because someone that actually meant something at some point died. Even if in the same way that the parents do not understand who you are, that the person that you thought they were when you cared about them isn't real either. It's like very like intense and interesting. Sorry to get super real like that, but like I have experience with that kind of sentiment. It's all I will say, and I kind of vibe with. I really like the way this is presented in the story. Oh, it's Percy. He's just dropping off your supplies for today. You really need to calm down. This disease has obviously been making you paranoid. There's currently nothing to worry about. Were you followed? No, don't look for. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Get in here quick. Fuck. Yeah, they were telling you. Look at the shit. We're fucking surrounded. Must be the entire president out there. First, you can't be this sloppy. You fucked it all up. Yeah, it's that hugs, yeah, the big hugs. It's that kind of game. Okay, I'm sorry. This isn't your fault. I probably shouldn't have had a different. Should have had a different guy bringing me shit. You were already on their radar. Damn. I just keep pulling you deeper into hot water. Don't die. Well, don't worry, I'll get you out of this shit. I'll get us both out. All I need to do is accelerate the plan a bit. Percy's face seems to ask a question. Plan? It was inevitable anyway. Not just here, everywhere in the country apparently. These fuckers have a lot of blood on their hands. Their crimes are finally catching up to them. Oh boy! Kill cop. Ring 3. Oh. She clicked the big red button. Got it. Oh boy! Oh boy! I am reminded of... Do you think Z has... Okay, give me a second. Okay, I'm sorry for that, but I need to quiet that down a little bit. Z fuck shit up. Okay, let's go. Okay. That's very loud still. fucking god. My fucking god. So, hello, Steve. Yeah, I have my clown sauna. I'm Wixie Woods, a Jubilite, and oh my fucking god. Jesus Christ! So Jackie, what you missed is that, Percy came in after the breakdown, and he was followed, and, like, every single police in the area basically, like, was, like, about to raid her house, and she just, like, clicked the big red button of, like, the big clown red button, and called in everyone to just annihilate police. Wow. Oh, the what you say reference? No, come on. It was actually genuinely a cool moment. Oh my god! I can't believe it. It was the police being shot by the dead person. Oh, Percy didn't make it, but there's no time for tears. Now that you've come this far with the accelerated version of your plan, there's no turning back. You need to put the whole thing into motion. Wow! He got a face! In his dying moments, he actually got a face! Percy, no! Virus? With the execution of this command, hundreds of Jubilite teams spring into action, guys crawling out of the woodwork at almost every well-populated location on the island. But none of these guys are armed. In fact, none of them look remarkable in any way. They could all be easily be mistaken for locals, and they will be. A seriously planned false flag operation has begun. Anyone who looked at just one of the viral videos showing your plainclothes Jubilites lurching out of your homes, grabbing their necks and choking as they collapse to their lawns and drive away as asphalt, might think the performance looked a little fishy. Who looked at just one of the viral videos showing... But you planted so many of these guys in so many places, all staging this performance at the exact same time, resulting in many pieces of independent footage. The full breadth of such content spreading rapidly across social media begins to have an alarming effect. You have guys harvesting all the footage coming in, searching out the best stuff, the most gripping, scary portrayals of an invisible airborne agent cutting down the locals of Nantucket Island right outside their homes, and releasing the content strategically to optimize the proliferated shocks. Then come a few other touches which requires no effort or planning at all. Real panic, not from your guys but from the true locals, who start catching on to what's happening. Actual people screaming in the background of your footage near the pretended bodies, running away, getting into cars, spilling down residential roads. Oh my god, she's making up a COVID too? To make the locals leave, so that now that she has killed the entire police force, the only people in the island are her people! It's the entire purpose of this charade. Nobody gets hurt, they all just get out. The panic begins with a trickle, but once the media starts running the footage, it turns into a flood, creating a stampede of people trying to leave the island all at once. Ordinarily it could be irresponsible, you think. It could be if you didn't have a transportation plan already to go with, which of course you do. If there's one thing you and your simp army isn't short on, it's boats. All the boats that brought them here, plus a whole lot more which were idle on the ports waiting to be repurposed, are at the ready for the start to frighten locals. Your teams take charge, yelling at the crowds which way to go. They load, cast off, and when they drop them at the mainland, the empty boats will just turn around and head back for more. The whole fleet will keep at it all night long if needed, until the island holds no one who wants to leave. As chaos swirls around the media in response to this attack, there are real questions about what actually happened, even as everyone flees in desperation just to be safe. Questions about who was responsible for the attack, whether it was even real, and why approximately 40 police officers were slaughtered in a shootout just as the attack began. And the talking heads of corporate media will surely spin, as they always do, but this is a narrative for you to control, not through your dispatch teams, false flags or leaked footage. As the leader of the Jubilite movement, this is something you need to address personally. It's too important to let it wait. You fight through the pain of your gunshot wound and the shortness of breath caused by the virus and begin streaming to your phones right away. You announce to the world that federal authorities appear to have deployed a vicious biochemical attack intended to target you and the members of your movement, which have been organizing on this island. They've seen how dangerous the Jubilites have been to the stability of state and corporate power, and they decided to crush the opposition at its source. But you and your most loyal supporters survived, retreating into shelters until the attack subsides. You go on to urge any civilians who haven't evacuated yet to leave for their own safety. Oh my god, you seize upon the moment to swear vengeance on the state which committed this atrocity to continue escalating the many pockets of insurgency already boiling over across the country. No reason to waste an opportunity to continue taking the fight to them. Over the last week of riots, you've seen state power bleed, and as long as there's blood in the water, you might as well release your sharks. Oh my fucking god, Z! What the fuck? Fighting for air makes the transmission difficult. At first, you curse your luck, again, wondering if it's even possible to have contracted this disease at the worst time. But as you desperately call out your angry statement to the world, you realize it's a nice touch. It helps sell the idea that you just survived a biochemical attack once you recover. If you recover, you'll tell Abby you couldn't have scripted it any better if you tried. But you can't call her to brag about the bleeding of the stuck pig that is the United States of America just yet. There's your own bleeding to attend to. And bursts the head. Gaslight, gatekeep, go boss! Yes! And that of fallen comrades. Oh. Oh wow, she's halfway down the shaggy. Only halfway down! Despite the losses suffered today, you can't help but reflect on what a successful implementation of pranks this has all been. Really not all a bad day of work for a concept you bullshitted into existence through a series of hallucinatory revelations. You suddenly wonder if the founding fathers ever had similar thoughts about the Constitution. None of that material was anywhere near as fun or cool as yours though. Still, whatever moves they made or words they wrote, you guess it was strong enough to earn them all several centuries of retroactive dick-sucking in the history books. Even Washington's lowliest of Sims probably got their due. And yours will too. Oh, corpse kissing! That's just what happens in Hasia Jason works. Rest in peace, loyal simp. You are the first casualty of war. You change your background to dead parents to remember? Oh god, you are passing out from blood loss. Classlight, Clade Keep, Claire boss. Wow, I am astonished. This is so fucking interesting! End of chapter 5. Stuck pig, that is America. Oh my god. I am just like astonished. I am genuinely astonished. Interlude 3. I was trying to see if there was a sound like volume thing for like cutscenes, but nope, I guess I will just be shutting up during cutscenes. Wow. I know, right? It's so good! Jesus fucking Christ. Lol, sorry, that was kind of unprofessional of me. I'm still just taking a moment to process whatever the fuck it is I just saw you do. I know you're capable of many feats when your back is against the wall, but somehow you managed to surprise even me this time. Bravo. But we should make it absolutely clear what's going on here now, okay? There's no going back now, not ever. If there's a picture on the Wikipedia page showing what it means to have just passed the point of no return, we're gonna need to replace it with that panel up there. You lying bloody, unconscious, disease-stricken next to a dead loyal simp surrounded by several dozen slaughtered cops after just having captured an island once belonging to the United States of America. Really great work, actually. I fucking love it. You know why? Because the highest of the stakes get, the more potent your choices become, the more power choice itself starts to accumulate. So why don't we try this again? Maybe, just maybe, you got what it takes to break through this time. You could pull your shit together, rely on the hospitality of your friends and allies, let them nurse you back to health, keep your powder dry for the war ahead, and let there be no mistaking it. There will be war. Or you could just roll over and fucking die already, old Mao. So which one of these compelling options strikes your fancy, huh? Come on, don't act surprised, you knew this was coming. Do I even need to say it anymore? Meaningful choices can only be unlocked by a true successor, and you sure don't look like a successor to me yet. Not when you're lying on the floor all sick and bloody and sleeping like that. You sure sort of need to be awake to make choices. It's a critical precondition to the entire idea, dummy. I just wanted to stop by and remind you, you're making great progress here. Really like what I've been seeing. Keep it up. Here's an idea. Why don't we cut the bullshit and just make a date? I'll meet you back here in a couple of chapters and we can do the same charade all over again. Sound cool? Just one more time though, I promise. After that, your true test will come. You gotta trust me, shit like this just takes a lot of patience, and if there's one thing I'll never run out of it again, it's time. Sleep well, Zen. What the fuck are you? I am thinking hair for Zen. Maybe witch. Oh. Hello, Squiddo! Welcome to Chapter 6, the practice of delegation. Are you going to delegate power to the rest while you rest? Wow! Evacuation of the island was chaotic but swift. Terrified locals stormed the docks, pushing each other closer and closer to the water, but mindful not to tip each other in. They're polite people, decent enough, you always thought. Rage? Oh god, like, probably rage, yeah. Not sure about Abby, I am not sure. I am not in a mindset to prospect right now. I am like shocked right now. They're polite. Non-terribly deserving of being forced to become a prisoner to a seceding summer colony, which is why you went to so much trouble to orchestrate a well-oiled evacuation machine. All told, the vast majority of the evacuation took only a few hours. By the time the sun was setting and boats were returning from the round trips, only a handful of people still waited on the piers, and when boats came back from their drop-offs, many of the waiting locals were a little puzzled to find that the boats weren't returning empty. They were always filled with new groups of well-armed people, jumping onto the docks with gusto and scattering into the neighborhoods and disappearing, not running away from the danger, but right into it. With every boat full of locals dropped off in the Massachusetts shore, your people always had another squad of recruits from the mainland ready to jump on board and head to the island. It continued like this for hours, back and forth across the sound. Where the population at the beginning of the day was around 10,000, the total final headcount after the near total evacuation was 13,000. Your false flag maneuver simply replaced the entire population of the island with rabid Jubilites and then some. The new recruits remained faithful that the crisis posed no danger to them and was merely a powerful act of praxis, and they could keep coming well after the evacuation too. There was no need to bother with the pretense of renting Airbnbs anymore or keeping a low profile. The new residents of the island began occupying the houses vacated by locals, along with a large supply of empty summer houses. No form of authority existed to stop you anymore. Collectively, all of you are the authority. The only thing left to do is wait and see how this authority will be challenged by the government once it comes to grips with how badly it has got bamboozled. But in the meantime, not even your most cynical antis can dispute the obvious. This island now belongs to you. Wow. Rage vibe, yeah, like extremely rage. Unfortunately, it will be some time before you're healthy enough to appreciate your conquest, let alone conscious enough. Your dear friend Abby now struggles to manage the aftermath of your bold decision. Aww. Serenade! See, I don't know if you can hear me. You have to get better soon, okay? If you didn't make it, I'd be so lost. I don't think I could even go on. People are already looking to me for answers, but I don't have the slightest idea how to handle the situation. The news is going insane about it, and my parents are losing it. I don't know what to tell them. I'm just ignoring them for now until I know what your plan is. What's the horse's class aspect? Waste of face! Oh, I don't even know how are you going to where are you going to follow this up? I know people will believe the bio attack was real forever. There are already a lot of questions about it. What happens next? What if all the people try to come back and like send the military this time? I'm so worried about you. Please don't leave me. I'd be so devastated. Okay, I'll be back to check on you soon. Your clown ring is downstairs waiting for orders. I guess I'll tell them something. I don't know what yet. To protect the island, I guess? I have no idea what else there is to even do at this point. Feel better. You clown up before you address Z's inner circle, ring 3. As you've heard him referred to before, you've never interacted with any of these people at all, and you don't know what to say to them. But wearing the paint seems like the right thing to do for the sake of appearances. They will be looking to you for leadership now. Look at them. Look at them. Oh, look at these designs! Yaoi paddle! No! No yaoi paddles! Hi everybody, I guess none of you have heard from me directly before, have you? Well, I'm Apple Pie, as I'm sure you know, but you can just call me Abby. God, these designs though! Look at all these clouds, Jackie! You are in your element, D-classy. Oh, that's D-classy, yes! That's D-classy! The foulest smelling half liter of coffee ever. Wow. I just made my clown name for fun. It was never supposed to be a serious code name or anything. Look at all of them! Just like in a bunch. You are big! And you're also quite tall, both of you. You're tiny though, I like you. Z is obviously wounded and very sick, so I need to make sure everything is running smoothly while she recovers, which means, well, I'm still not sure what that means. Sorry, I didn't expect having to do this, and I don't really have a plan yet. But what we know is yesterday Z cleared out of the entire population of the island with a really crazy stunt, and we don't know how long that can last before authorities catch on to the prank. So I think we all need to prepare to keep the island safe from that happening. It's also on the trailer. Ooh. Fidgeting. Which means having all your people, like the many Jubilites under your command. I'm actually not sure how it works. There's like a hierarchy, right? Like you all give orders to subdivisions of clans and such. So, you need to make sure they all set up to defend against whatever it may be an invasion from the government. Also, I think we need to keep the messaging up just to make sure that everyone on the mainland knows it's not safe to try to come back. Whether that means keeping up the ruse or yesterday's attack or maybe something else, anything to deter people from wanting to come back, because I think we've gone way too far to go back to normal, right? This is really messy and we just have to make the best of it. I'm sorry, I feel really overwhelmed by all this. You deserve better leadership than having my incoherent babbling. I'm doing my best. Chuckling, huh? Oh, I'm going to have fun here. You're such a clown fucker on vain. Inspirational speech we need right now. Nice of the author to do that. Yeah, you can see their names. First, may I just say what an absolute honor it is to be serving you, Secretary Apple Pie. Secretary? Yes, that is your formal rank within the organization. You are the Secretary of Jape. I assure you, we have nothing but the utmost sympathy for the difficult position you are in. Okay, so I know I turned it down earlier, but... Clown music. Everyone here is fully aware of the role you traditionally play within the Jubilite movement. You are, how shall I say, more of an inspirational figure, a hands-off secretary who remains uninvolved with the tedium of daily operations. That's a role, and we are all beyond thrilled to be playing it. clown paint acrylic queen, thought fancy unique clown paint and punks. Yeah! It's so cool! I love it! It's from Ava's Demon too, huh? So I completely understand if you find yourself in an awkward position. I see, yes, thank you for understanding. Jacqueline is my clown name. We all go by our clown sonas in this organization. No human names allowed as a matter of policy. It's strictly for security reasons, you understand. But we will all be more than pleased to refer to you as Secretary Abby as a special exception if that is your wish. Oh, yeah, thank you. Or just Abby is also fine all. You got it, Abby. It's so great to finally be speaking with you. Can I just say, what an admirer of yours have I always been, long before the rise of Supreme Honkifax said. Supreme Honkifax? Of course! It is quite the title, isn't it? But look at all that she has accomplished. It has been a remarkable achievement, and I have absolute certainty that there is not a single Jubilite on this island who could not die for our leader. God, she is very fanatical. Jax, well, okay, that's nice to hear, I guess, but I don't think we need anyone to die for anybody just yet. I think we just need to figure out how to get this crazy situation under control. Naturally. Secretary, or Abby, I mean, you may not favor the spotlight, but it is this clown's humble opinion that your management instincts are every bit as sharp as her supreme Honkifax's. But may I make a modest recommendation? Sure. If you find yourself overwhelmed by the tactical situation, I could strongly advise you to consider the practice of delegation. In fact, I could be happy to personally take the reins of implementing all follow-up strategies which are necessary to secure our territory and keep our adversaries at bay. Just keep the order and I'll take care of everything. Oh, you would? Wow, that actually sounds very helpful. Thank you, Jacqueline. Yeah, I'm getting vibes too. It will be my pleasure to serve you and the Supreme Honkifax, now and always. Okay, so, can you start with all that, like, right now? I have some other things I really need to do, like feed my poor horse. He's probably been so worried since I had to leave suddenly the other day. God, look at these clowns! Yes, by all means, I will have all essential operations put into motion immediately. By the end of the day, you will see there is nothing to worry about at all. Now go feed your beautiful horse. All the Jubilites consider the health and well-being of Archbishop David Hasselhoof to be of paramount concern to our mission. Wow. You gave my horse a rank? It's a joke, of course. No, we did not. But we do like to joke around as clowns, don't we? Hello? Yes, that was actually pretty funny. Okay, I'll go do that then. Thanks again for the help. Horse Scout Clown. Yeah, I kind of don't trust her. Oh, she's in skates! Jackie, you could cosplay them. Wow. Are we going to be introduced to the rest of them, or... You walk away feeling relieved of administrative responsibility, only to realize you now have time to dwell on all your other problems. You're terrified that your friend won't recover from her critical condition. And no matter how successful her subordinates are, you doubt you'll ever be able to shake the feeling that this island could be invaded by the military at any moment. Your parents are pissed, not only at your involvement in the secession of their favorite summer colony, but they now realize they've been played as well. Your mother has caught on to the fact that she was being scammed by her lover, and your father seems to understand you've been playing him for a fool as well. They want their money back, but obviously that's not going to happen. You will have to think about how to play it. You don't think your mom knows she was being catfished by Z and Percy. Maybe you can try to convince your dad that you were sincere about the Bitcoin stuff, but you were being scammed by the same guy that your mom was? This is like a plausible out, but it could just involve more lying, and maybe it's just not even worth it anymore. Maybe Z was right, and you're better off just giving up on the idea that parents like this are worth having any relationship with at all. You take another look at the news. It's pure madness! You and Z are everywhere you look when it comes to trending topics online and coverage of recent events. The upheaval around the country is accelerating, and all the footage you can find now features way too many clowns and gatherings for your comfort. No matter which media outlet you turn to, it always seems they'd rather point their cameras at a bunch of unruly clowns than focus on the real issues originally propelling this civil unrest. And yet, it's hard to deny that the gradually coalescing rhetorical message of this clown ruckus ties into this political agenda, which she so assiduously itemized in her manifesto. This movement, which once seemed nothing more than a bunch of anarchist jesters opportunistically making mischief, now more closely represents open revolt against capitalist and imperialist state power. Hello, how you can still see the glasses orange skin? Yeah, hello mate! More police stations are falling and small pockets of territory are being captured by Jubilites, but nobody knows where this is going or what the vision is for the direction of the movement without the guidance of their supreme honk effects, otherwise known as your best friend, Jinitsi. See? Oh. Is that the... Yep, she's floating again. Oh no, she's not floating, she's... Oh! Oh! Is that a statue or is that them? Oh no, that's breaking apart to reveal them beneath, isn't it? Oh, wow! That is a visual, though. Oh yeah, the Asian code. Like, I mean, there's more to that than that, but this is an interesting take on that. I am dreaming again. Don't make me wake up this time. I want some answers. I have no power to wake you up. The sickness inside you keeps you asleep. What do you want to know? Last time I dreamed of you. You said I was doing well, but doing well at what? Shouldn't you answer that? What is it you believe you're actually doing? I don't know. A lot of shit. Fighting for survival. And you're still alive, are you not? I guess. Then you're doing well. This is some cagey bullshit. I think you know there's a lot more going on here than surviving. You're the one who gave me all these ideas after all. Yes. So why? What do you even want out of this? You mentioned survival. Perhaps this is my aim as well. Inevitably, we all die, of course. Even entire civilizations die. So doesn't it stand to reason that part of one's quest for survival is the propagation of everything one identifies with? And if a civilization is to survive beyond its time, doesn't it need to concern itself with such propagation methods as well? So you're saying your society on Whimsify is dead, and this is your way of keeping it alive? Aside from the means of communicating my culture to you, what is so unusual about this? There are many nations on your planet which have engaged in similar practices, including the one you have begun to challenge. Practices like imperialism, conquest can be achieved in so many ways. Often the most effective ways are when the conquered don't even fully grasp that is what's taking place. Does this ring true of the nation you were born in? I mean, if you're saying America does a lot of sketchy shit all over the world, but also this like vast hegemonic influence over everything through culture and economics without even needing to invade all nations on Earth. Yeah, I know that, it's some kind of basic shit. The situation you described surely happens in many deliberate ways, but easily just as much of it must happen automatically, yes, as a logical and effortless extension of the great power and influence your nation has. In other words, it is natural. It's only natural for a person or a civilization to instinctively seek out ways of propagating itself to assure its continued survival. How many ways has this happened on your planet that you already know of? Methods of colonization may involve sending ships across the oceans to occupy foreign lands. They may involve wars, cultural erasure, the displacement of large populations, or openly genocidal practices. But all instances of these events on your planet have resulted from the invasion of one continent by another. Is it not also conceivable that your planet could be subject to the same forces from beyond your star system? I don't mean the to alarm you by raising the possibility. The truth is, Earth has nothing to worry about when it comes to the threat of an hostile interstellar invasion. There is no planet in the galaxy that needs to worry about that because it's impossible. It is? Yes, space travel is too difficult. The speed of light cannot be exceeded or even safely approached. Our planets are locked apart from each other forever until they all grow cold and die. So it sounds like you're saying if one planet wants to conquer another, they need to use a different method than just sending a bunch of spaceships over and shooting lasers at everybody. Yes, that is true. So you're saying that's what you're doing here? I'm only saying this. Of all that is about to take place on your planet, there is only one person who is responsible for the actions that will bring about these changes. And that person is you. Wait, don't go. Wait! Wow. See low-key what has accidentally did with Alternia shit. Yeah, also, like, you know, like, this adds, like, an extra... Ooh, nosebleed. Oh. Interesting that she got a nosebleed from it. 2 weeks later. After a couple of weeks in bed, you managed to beat the virus. Aww! You feel weak and you still can't put any weight on your wounded leg, but you finally feel well enough to leave Abby's house and get back in the action. Speaking of action, even though you could hardly post any content due to being sick, your brand continued its relentless march forward, 38 million now. The evacuation stunt, now widely regarded as a maneuver you orchestrated for the purpose of seizing full possession of the island, grabbed the world's undivided attention as the flashpoint for a credible resistance movement against the United States government. The ensuing media frenzy and global political discourse has only served to ratchet up your follower count precipitously. If you were in better health, you'd have been able to appreciate your outrageously snowballing fame a lot more, but as it was, you could barely manage to leave your phone on most days. Today you're just happy to be able to get out for some fresh air. It's your first in-person debriefing with Ring 3 ever since you have been sick, or ever for the matter. All previous meetings were done online while you were all keeping a low profile, but now that you control the island absolutely, there's little need for such discretion. Ring 3, under the delegated supervision of Jacqueline, recently reallocated a nearby country club for meeting purposes. You've just arrived and are ready to hear the full report. You're more than a little anxious to learn what your organization has been up to while you have been in recovery. I think it's very neutral so far. I don't think I can say that neither is happening at the same time. Also, like, there is the narrator going on in the background and I don't know who they are. So, until then, I cannot tell for sure. Look at this, oh, look at them saluting. The fuck is all this? I'm getting the full 12 clown salute, huh? Well, I'm flattered, but at ease, bitches. I'm alive and long past due for a proper debriefing. Abby's been keeping me updated on stuff while nursing me back to health. And now that I'm on my feet again, I think it's time to get serious about our full tactical situation and what comes next. Yeah, it's like cool. It's okay. I am going to point out the name of the fucking game. Psycholonials. It is a colonialism of the psyche. It is the spread of memes and influence from one culture to another. It is not a literal takeover, but a passing of ideas that take over the culture. Oh my god! Metal Gear! That's quite a reference to Metal Gear! The memes! It's all about the memes! Oh! I have cracked the code! The memes, Jack. They spread to one another. Oh my god! It's Metal Gear Rising all over again! Oh my god. Abs, do you want to lead the meeting and take it from the top? Me? Sure, you're the Secretary of Shape after all. I've been told. Okay, here's what's been going on since the evacuation. You're going to crack me like a neck? Come on, it's actually like this. Okay, here's what, it's been so fucking much, let's see. Well, there was the power outage scare, which lasted, what, a day or two? Then that got resolved somehow, and I bet this debriefing fucking sucks. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't even know you were going to ask for one. I just thought I could chill here and listen to you guys. Ah, excuse me. We're at the dismantling of capitalism. You have to plant the memes, Ed. Secretary Abby, it's perfectly alright with us if you relax there and listen. And with all due respect and reverence to our Supreme Honky said, first of all, may I say what an honor it is to finally be addressing you in person, and how relieved we all are to see you recovered. Yeah, sure. What are you trying to say here? You're juggling, right? Yes! Wow, you remember my name! Oh my god, I'm sorry, Supreme Honky. I'm just... Please don't call me that. It sounds fucking ridiculous. Oh, yes, of course, my apologies, Z. I'm afraid I am losing my composure due to my feelings of admiration for what you have accomplished here, and... Has toxic vibes, huh? Cool, we'll accomplish this though. So what's up, Jocelyn? Are you trying to volunteer to give me the briefing instead? Yes! If that's okay, sir. Don't call me sir either, but yes, it's okay. Whenever you're ready. 10 out of 10 could make a terrible mistake! Wow. Look at her! Look at her! As Secretary Abby has already touched upon, your evacuation strategy has been an overwhelming success. Virtually all locals have been displaced from the island due to your brilliant and daring act of praxis, and have been replaced by tens of thousands of Jubilite loyalists. While the media debated whether or not it was a hoax, we made sure to secure the island. We've taken over all major facilities with a militia presence, including the airport. We've also promoted the claim that there are now thousands of bombs deployed all over the island, rigged to detonate if the government ever reclaims the territory. So they're free to try if they like, but the consequence will simply be the total obliteration of all this valuable property they have claiming we have stolen. Wow. Biggest gay out of all of clowns, huh? Yeah, I heard about the bombs. They hit the part of the story a lot in the media. It was a nice touch. Thank you, sir. I mean, Zed, it was my idea. But there aren't any actual bombs out there, are there? Oh, there are a bunch of real bombs for sure. For the sake of taking photographs to prove it, isn't completely made up, as well as for detonating a few of them as a warning, if it ever comes to that. But yes, you are right, there are far from thousands. Well, that's good to fucking know. Meanwhile, the U.S. military presence has been increasing. A fleet of Navy ships has amassed around the island, presumably to function as a blockade, preventing more ships from arriving. This has stemmed the flows of new recruits coming in, but more importantly, it's resulted in an unofficial embargo. Soon we'll need to consider how to cope with supply shortages, unless we can figure out how to disrupt blockade. Yeah, I've been thinking about that, I'm working on it, and the power situation? Right! As our secretary mentioned, we had that unfortunate power disruption. Electricity, as I'm sure you know, is not generated locally on this island. It's supplied from the mainland through 2 underwater cables, regrettably putting us at the mercy of whatever the energy company decides to do, or worse, what federal authorities talk them into doing. So as the textbook maneuver goes, when it comes to any hostage crisis, which the feds are surely doing this as, albeit on a much larger scale, they attempted to shut off power. People on the island were understandably upset. Secretary Abby kindly put out the distress call, and the backlash by our fellow Jubilites was rather intense, to say the least. Many forms of pressure were put on the energy company until they relented and restored the power to the island. Pressure? Yeah, everything, you name it. Threats, bribes, mass gatherings around their facilities and offices. They quickly realized it wasn't worth it to antagonize us like that, even if the feds were insisting on it. It turns out our movement may have more leverage upon such institutions than even most government agencies do. She is undressing. Oh my gosh. Of course, the tremendous financial resources at our disposal make things like this go a lot easier. I really must commend you and Secretary Abby for accumulating so many assets with such skillful implementation of praxis. I can't imagine anyone else in the movement has been as successful with this technique as you have. But then, look who I'm talking to here, the inventor of praxis herself. Oh, okay, let's slow down here. It's good you all got the power back on. That was important, obviously, but you say you're also spending money to make shit happen now? Yes, we have been, all with Secretary Abby's approval first, of course. I have been also recommending a significant allocation of resources to a newly formed marketing wing of the Jubilite movement. I'm not sure if you have been tracking the metrics. What am I saying? You've been sick in bed, but you may want to take a look. Our following around the world has exploded since your phenomenal evacuation strategy combined with my marketing methods. I didn't notice, actually. The numbers have really gone haywire. But I guess getting worldwide attention for conquering an American summer colony would do that. And whatever shit you're doing with the marketing, I'm sure that's good too. How much have you been spending on it? Oh, many millions! But don't worry. According to Secretary Abby, it all represents a minuscule portion of the movement's total assets. Yeah, I thought it sounded okay. We have so much now, and we've hardly done anything with it. What could it hurt? Yeah, this is all totally fine. Actually, it's very good. It transitions nicely into the next section of the manifesto. It does? I was gonna start distributing it after the back stun, but it got shot. I got shot in the leg and then knocked down on my ass by the Rona, so the advanced pranks shit got delayed. But it really sounds like you got a head start on some of it without realizing. So what is it, actually? The feel that she could do a blood sacrifice. I'm late and miss a lot. Iris, you have no fucking clue. Z has, like, taken over the fucking island. Like, Z has taken over the entire island. Like, the island is theirs now. Well, once you get completely insane amounts of money from your marks, like we've got now, you just keep rolling that money over into new schemes. The money makes everything easier at that point. Doing stuff like you already just did to solve the power issue, you apply pressure. You can buy people off or use operatives on the mainland to twist people's arms into doing shit, or even both at once. Mostly this was meant to be applied to more financing schemes. For instance, we ran through our trusty old political journalist, find some big names, target their money guys, like their financial firms or whatever, and look for weak spots. Nerds who move the money around, buy and sell stock, whatever it is they do, and just like apply pressure with dollar figures in front of their faces that they aren't being used to being paid, and threaten them with consequence they are in no way equipped to handle. A few million in bribes here to probably lose a few billions in assets there, and you have a good return on investment. Yeah, look at Abby! Oh my god! Oh, yes! This makes so much sense. It's so exciting that I was unwittingly anticipating the next phase of our operation. Yeah, basically, it is the next logical step, isn't it? No, not to me. I had no idea that's where this was going. It sounds really ambitious. Does taking over an entire island, doesn't it? Well, yeah, which, I mean, that's been pretty dangerous too. And now it sounds like you're pushing a campaign of, I guess, stealing more from as many rich people and companies as possible? Yes. I'm not opposed to it. It's just my parents are one thing. I felt like, I don't know, like, that was sort of a fun game, but this... Are you sure we can handle all of this? Secretary... I have seen this image before. Labeled as like White Girl Wednesday. Secretary Abby, not to worry. Remember, that's what you have me for. It's perfectly alright if you didn't have the same natural foresight into advanced praxis which I did. I'm here to complement your position of command, to expand upon it, to make you even more effective. We all have our skills, don't we? Supreme Honkifax said. Oh, oops! You said, I mean. She's a great visionary, the glorious clown mother of all that we celebrate here on this island. Whereas I would like to see myself as a very skilled administrator, someone who can handle all that boring stuff with the money, logistics, planning and whatnot. And you're good at, You have an incredible social media presence. Oh, and you're super pretty and you have a beautiful horse. So you see, we'll have something to contribute. Each of us is like a puzzle piece that fits into the big picture. It's White Girl Wednesday indeed. And if it pleases you, Zed, I could simply carry on with what I have already been doing so effectively. I could oversee these advanced praxis initiatives you were envisioning. Just say the word and I will begin building teams to carry out your orders immediately. So, you want to be in charge of advanced praxis, huh? Mm-hmm. Should I? I don't know. I mean, she's kind of creepy. Yeah, but like, she's doing a good job. Fuck it, yeah, why not? Wait, no. Fuck it, why not? The backhanded compliment, yeah. Look at the smile! I'll publish the chapter soon, but this material needs to stay internal for now. Can't be too public about it until we have a lot of plays into motion. Don't want to tip our hands too early. Get back to me tomorrow when you have a plan. We can talk about it more then. I gotta go home and lie down, my leg's still killing me. Are you ready to go? Look at that smile. That winning pride smile. Look at that winning fucking smile. Oh boy! Look at all the fucking air presents! It feels good. It feels good to get back to our expensive wine dinners again. Just like old times, Old times, yeah. Shit, almost been, what, 2 months? Christ. Yeah, wow, it feels like fucking years have gone by. Are you sure you're good to be sitting out here like this? You can always go lie back. If you're not feeling well. I'm good. I need to like force myself to get back to normal. Things have held pretty well up, but to be honest, the vibe of this scene has gotten pretty weird in my absence. Yeah, that new girl is like a lot. I'm trying to remember where she even came from. Didn't you appoint her to Ring 3? Yeah, I did, but she kinda quietly moved up the ladder after some positions got shuffled around, and I hardly remember hearing anything from her at all. She was mostly quiet and just like idle, waiting for instructions like most of the others. Now she's this chatty fucking Casey all of a sudden. A woman who could be Scientologist if she walked a different route. Oh boy. Well, she stepped up when you got sick and I had no idea what to do. She's been such a huge help actually. It may have all fallen apart if it were only up to me. Not saying she isn't doing useful work. Of course she wants to overachieve now that she's got the spotlight, and the stuff she's doing will probably undeniably help the movement. Like with the advanced pranks shit, I couldn't be surprised if she didn't go out and shake down a whole ton of money from a bunch of new suckers. I'm just saying my alarm bells are going off with her, and I'm not so sure why yet. I just have a spider sense for this thing. It's probably not good for your health to get too caught up in paranoia. I just think she's likely just a nice girl who got inspired by all that stuff you wrote, and now she's trying really hard to impress you, that's all. I can kind of relate to where she's coming from. The real TikTok cult? The alien gender fox to get kids into cults? Please, explain? Oh, so that explains our friendship, huh? You just been trying to impress me with your sexy wiles and charms to end up second in command of my seditious clown empire. Lord, yes, you figured out my master plan. I saw you in that restaurant waiting tables one time. Was like, now there's a girl who is going to cause Nantucket Island to secede from the Union with a clown-themed social media campaign. You sure know how to play the long game, embedding yourself as my high-ranking official in my impromptu paramilitary circus for years, just for your shot at getting that lesbian kiss out of you, out of me you've always been after. Please don't mess with me like that, it's so mean, lol. I'm not trying to put moves on you, I swear. I'm just trying to take care of you. You've been in such bad shape and got yourself in so much trouble. Well, we both got ourselves in trouble and need to take care of each other until we can, like, survive this. I know, I'm just joking around. I'm always joking around. I'm not trying to be mean to you. I just joke around when I'm stressed about stuff. You just need to relax. Don't think about all the garbage constantly. At least take a break from it all that night. Other people can worry about the hard stuff for you now. That's what all the obsequious clown helpers are for. Here, let me top you off. Oh, yeah, I don't know if I should drink this. I'm kinda fucked up on pain meds. Oh, yeah, good point. Well, more for me then. I don't remember you being this much of a wine mom before all this. I must have done this to you, didn't I? No, I've just been so stressed. I've never been through anything in my life. What the last couple of weeks were like. I was just sick and dealing with the government and my parents and the fandom and the media going ballistic over this. I had to find ways to cope. I'm sorry, God. I should have thought it through, what this was going to be like for you. Don't be sorry. I've been right here watching how all this unfolded. You got fucked over by cops and all you wanted to do was fight back, and that like got all mixed up with your new project. Probably no one out there can possibly understand the truth about why you felt like you had to take it this far, but I do. Yeah, that's always been the problem. When you're under attack by murderous assholes with all the power and laws on their sides, You can roll over and die, run away or whatever, or you can fight. But once you start fighting, the question always is, when do you even stop? And then you realize you can't, because once you start, you establish yourself as a threat to them, and they'll stop at nothing to put you down. So it turns out you can't stop fighting until the threat is completely wiped out, or they'll just keep coming. Then the question becomes, who's they? Is it just the police? Well, who the fuck do they work for? Turns out they is really the whole system, all corporate and state power. If they constantly show they want you dead, if you're willing to fight back at all, then what choice do you even have to keep fighting to the death? Yikes. But yeah, you're totally right, I can see it now. It's not like I even wanted this. Taking over a whole island, that wasn't really the blueprint. They forced my hand though. I'm just tired. Well, the runner really wiped you out. I know, I'm mentally too. I spent the last 2 weeks in and out of COVID and pain medfog, but that day I got shot. Some real serious shit happened that day, which I had barely any time to process with my rational brain. And you also laughed that day. You found out about your mom, then Percy. I felt so sorry for you, but I haven't known what to say. Do you want to talk about it? And which one? Both of those topics are 2 completely different conversations. I don't want you want. I'm not prepared at all for whatever the conversation about my mom would be. As for Percy, I don't know what to say. It just sucks. I know you always like to tease him, but it seemed to me like you actually really like him. It's okay to mourn for a person you cared about. I don't think I like him like that though. It's more complicated. Isn't he still on your unlocked screen? Oh, yeah. I don't know, it sounds like you did like him like that. Abby, Percy was my soldier, and he died because of me. He died because He died because I sent him down this road, and he never even knew what I was signing up for him for. You're soldier, huh? Okay, if you insist, that's how it is. Remember, I'm your friend, and you can talk to me. You don't have to run away from your feelings forever. I'm not running away from shit, it's the truth. It's true about all those people all over the world now. They all signed up for something I started, which could end up very badly for everyone if I fuck up anything else. But it's not like I can just stop. The fate of too many people depends on me now, and the forces we're attacking here legitimately are quite evil. So I can shake the feeling that this is all important work to be doing, in addition to just being a necessity for survival. And then my insane dreams keep reaffirming this. Dreams? Yeah, I've been getting more intense. They've been getting more intense. Hassie probably owns an encyclopedia. Who doesn't? Do you all not have a big encyclopedia at home? It was a real thing. A cult started recruiting by exploiting kids that were into genogenders. That is fucked up. So I spy colors right now. Get the winning, Abby. You mean the same kind of dreams which inspired your manifesto? Yeah, I had some more while I was sick. They were more vivid than ever. He speaks to me more clearly now. Who? Riotous, the mythical clown god my brain made up, who is probably fake, but now I'm not even sure about that, so maybe I'm going crazy. Or maybe it was just about the disease wreaking havoc on my mind. I'm sure that's what it was. I don't think you should start drinking your own Kool-Aid on this lore. I mean, it's neat and all, but I'm not that serious. I think it's just my subconscious talking to me. But it's very lucid stuff, all this material I'm spreading around. It's like a vision from another place. And it feels like it all has some intense need to spread itself through the universe. Like colonizing the world, overriding our various nations and cultures, but without any actual invasions. Instead, it's more like it's being channeled through me from a place we can't even comprehend. So you mean like imperialism? Isn't that bad though? I thought your manifesto was on record as saying that all sucks. Then they recruited questioning kids and gotten Christ, what the fuck? Why are people like that? Ugh. People using their power to abuse people and like make them hurt themselves and just profit off of them. It's fucked up. Those people need to rot. It does. The kind that's being practiced on Earth, and if aliens send ships to Earth and conquer us, that could be bad too. But I think this is something different. I have no idea if it's good or bad really. But if it catches on with everyone and turns out to be what cures the plant of shit like injustice, economic equality and all that, could it really be that bad? I don't think I'm qualified to answer that, but it sounds a bit like a rationalization. Maybe the kind that more traditional imperialists have used to justify expanding their own influence in the past. Like they could have said, If only we invade this poor country or that one, just think of all the boons our advanced society could give them. New science and medicine, whatever, or new forms of mortality because our religion is better than theirs, stuff like that, you know? Hello, Doomslayer! Glad to see you around. Also, this is the thing you were all talking about earlier, like, is it good or bad? It's like being spoken about, specifically. Yeah, you could be right. I gotta stop thinking like this. Like, these are anything but weird dreams. Or telling myself this is all any deeper than just some story I wrote. It's just a story. It's just a story. Ugh, it's driving me crazy. So stop thinking about all your clown lore for a little while. Just rest. You're still recovering, remember? No, it's not even that. It's a clown girl Jubilite. It's still gnawing at me. Why do I know her from? Oh, no. I know who Jubilite is. She's the one hater, isn't she? Oh my god. Be honest, there are just way too many fucking clowns for me to even keep track of anymore. And they all have clown certain names and faces, and sometimes people even change to different ones, so who even knows who anyone is who anymore. I jokingly have a tattoo on the back of the back right now. It's such a specific detail considering the art style. Thank you, Doomslayer! I am like deep into the clown sauce too. I am Wixie Roots, the fucking clown girl. Wasn't that the point? Your manifesto says it's all like about like malleability of identity, like take total control of who you are, nobody else to get to decide, not your parents or the government or whatever, right? Yeah. Still, you just have such a weird feeling about it. You should just try to sleep soon. Let me clean up. Then I'll help you upstairs, okay? Yeah. Something occurs too. It was that tattoo. Haven't you seen it before? Then it hits you. It was! You open your now massive list of haters. Just scroll all the way to the top where the oldest antis are. The one you click on is the very first, actually. Jubilite couldn't really be. Could she? It is! It's her! This was the first bitch who cancelled you! The Dharma logo from Lost. Okay. Oh no! Z! 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 Oh boy! Wow. Oh boy. Oh boy. I just like realized right before her. When she gets like really mad or intense, it never even stood a chance. Getting closer. I like the idea of getting like psychically extremely angry makes her like just like JPEG crust everything around her. 1 month later. 113 million! New Whimsify! After another month is swallowed into the dystopian 2020 abyss, the march towards social media supremacy continues unabated. Last week, you leapfrogged over Katy Perry. Today, you just slid past Miley Cyrus. Both accounts took 7 years to reach their marks, while yours only took 3 more months to surpass them. The woman you just eclipsed, Smiley, has been outspokenly critical of law enforcement through her platform, but as far as you're aware, she's never personally ended the life of an officer or given the orders to execute an entire president. Pathetic, really. And it's in the... oh my god. And it's the little touches like this which make all the difference when it comes to clawing your way up to the top. It's a matter of commitment, you think. You've been catching a lot of bitches sleeping lately, and rankings have served the notice. God, oh, she got her hair! Oh my god, she got guns on now. Due to resuming control of your empire with your distinct personal touch, life here on the island has stabilized after a rocky start in the days following the evacuation. A few deft political maneuvers have brought stability to your stolen summer colony, but the same can't be said for the rest of the nation, and at this point, many parts of the world as well. It's actually the leader of independent nation of clowns. God. Heavy Jubilite activity reported. Jubilite counties captured? The US is becoming increasingly fractured due to the many localized Jubilite insurrections, and a great number of police stations across the nation have fallen. Certain regions of America, which now represent unpoliced, demilitarized pockets of Jubilite controlled territory, have gotten so large, Ring 3 has categorized these parts of the map as Jubilite counties. Oh my god! That is the entire counties in the US where the majority of all police stations have been commandeered, and the number of counties which qualify as has been making everyone in the government extremely nervous. Nervous enough to begin listening to certain demands you've been making for weeks. In recent days, hostilities in the country have finally started cooling off. This is because of negotiations you have completed, which have resulted in a treaty between the Jubilite movement and the US government. New Whimsify. The treaty grants formal recognitions of the island of Nantucket as a sovereign nation totally independent from the United States, which is now called New Whimsify. The mainland agrees to keep the power running on all naval blockades lifted so you can continue supplying the island with needed resources. Oh my god! In exchange, you've agreed to a non-aggression pact with the US and have publicly called for a nationwide cessation of hostilities from your Jubilite militias. No more capturing police stations and no more expansion of Jubilite County territory for now. Oh my god! Your movement has been seeping into the fabric of global politics as well. Certain nations have started showing signs of instability as the insurrections dominated by clowned-up faces have swelled up to enormous sizes around the world. While such volatility has stalled in the US to your treaty, it's only been picking up steam in other nations. You've begun to lose track of what's happening where, since there's so much to observe all at once, and you've had your hands full with domestic matters. But what hasn't gone unnoticed to you is the broader cultural phenomenon it's become in such a short period of time. Many celebrities are outwardly identifying as Jubilites now, both feeling emboldened by the political strength of the movement and enticed by the fashionable statement it's become to clown up in solidarity with rebellious spirit of your manifesto. Is that... I can't believe... She's angry. God. None of these people you could hardly give a fuck about, but you're flattered nonetheless. However, you were floored when you heard Post Malone himself was hopping into your tent. He even got some new clownish face tattoos to mark his newfound dedication to the cause. You have no idea if he found out what a huge fan of his you are, but you think you'd die of embarrassment if he knew. Sometimes you wonder if Abby sent him a sneaky message behind your back to lure him into the fold. You'd fuck her up if you found out she did that. Speaking of which, it seems Abby has managed to use her newfound celebrity influence to climb the ladder to her own fames. She's now in contact with her leader Namjoon, which seems incapable of going more than 15 minutes without mentioning. And when you start getting wind of a decidedly familiar sounding movement picking up steam in South Korea, with everybody's 7 favorite boys at the helm, you naturally assume Abby calls her use her wiles to convert them to your gods. I cannot fucking believe this! This is so fucking stupid! To your surprise, Abby didn't have to do much strong arming at all. Turns out you already had more in common than you thought. Apparently the boy band was curious about what all the commotion in America was really about, and Abby was more than happy to get through the media play to walk them through it. She befriended Namjoon, and after many extensive dialectics about justice and the perils of capitalism, it seems the boys were inspired to start a revolution on their own terms. According to what you've been hearing, on the news they have already managed to take over the entire entertainment studio, completely ousting the previous ownership. I am just floored. And in their new position of political leverage, they are galvanizing the people of their own nation to stand up for positive social change. They seem to have an inordinately principled aversion to murder, which leaves you a bit pessimistic about the ultimate efficacy of their methods. But you'll let them play the game for they want for now. For now. Wow. Indeed, it seems as if a global movement is forming in the wake of the Jubilite uprising, like in South Korea. Parallel movements are cropping up across the world. Some of the insurrections are being waged explicitly in your name, while some are undoubtedly the unique product of the political conditions of those particular regions. But whatever banner they fly, the people of the world are rising in a tide. Meanwhile, it's finally time for another formal debriefing. It's been a full month since your last one, when you delegated control of advanced practice to the rising star of the organization, Jokulin. They're C-classy! They're C-classy! But you haven't been to a briefing since because you didn't want to make a habit of those meetings. Too much ass-kissing, too much micromanagement of stuff you can't be bothered with, and you've been way too busy with high-stakes diplomacy anyway. You just allowed her to slack development of these projects of her own while you kept a close eye on her. And it looks like she's made the most of that slack. The roster of the Ring 3 appears to have dramatically expanded under Jokulin's administration. A whole lot of new clown faces, but that's not too surprising. If there's one thing you've learned to never be surprised by, is the unrelenting accrual of new clowns. More clowns than you could ever know what to do with. Missile Bip is so happy. Missile Bip is this one, right? I have seen fan art of her, so I know her name. Let's be honest, Z has only has to take over the face paint industry to keep the money flowing on the nation. See, what a pleasure it is to see you make an appearance at our headquarters. It's been too long since I've had the honor of briefing you in person, and may I just say, the diplomatic work you've been doing has been remarkable. Thanks, but you really should be referring to me as Supreme Honky Facts. Oh yes, I'm sorry, I slipped the tongue. It will never happen again. May I lead you inside so I can begin with the briefing? My advanced praxis division has been making some incredible strides lately. No, let's stay outside. Could use the fresh air? Just follow me and say whatever you want to say. First, may I say, if it ever appears that I condescend or describe the tenets of advanced praxis to their author, it is only for the purpose of fully elaborating on them for a wider audience, such as this Gallery Rouge here. Who knows how well read these chucklefucks are in Jubilite theory, am I right? I kid, of course, we're all friends here, and we all like to joke around. That's what's so good about this movement, don't you think? We keep things light and humorous, while other ideologies just get so stuffy and self-important. Not us, though. I so not like her. Right, just wanted to make it clear that any over-explaining I may do is simply for the sake of providing a well-rounded presentation to all, yes? That said, let's take it from the top. Advanced praxis. Let me drink a moment. God, I needed that. The more elite ranks of the Jubilite movement have already been introduced to these teachings. It's still being kept from the masses at your discretion, of course, so as to not alert our methods or targets to our methods too blatantly. But there will come a time when these ideas will permeate the global Jubilite movement to maximize their effect, soon I imagine. When it is clear enough to the world that there is no turning back, and I could hazard that the recent work you have done securing the sovereignty of New Winsifay puts us closer to that moment than ever. So looping at the air, yeah, that's the whole thing with like transmitting my image through, a whole dimension. So what is it we're doing? The core of these principles is quite simple. It relies on the premise that in order to destroy evil systems of overwhelming power, there is no tactic whatsoever that should be off the table. Everything the bastards are capable of doing to advance their goals, we are capable of doing too, and we must. So if the rich and powerful use their staggering wealth to entrench themselves in their positions of supremacy, then if we are also able to accumulate similar amounts of wealth, which we have, thanks to your brilliance, this means it isn't merely a good idea to use those levers to attack their power, it means we are obligated to use them. It is in fact the only way to defeat them. To abide more honorable practices could be to cede advantages to them which are counterproductive to us and wholly undeserved to them. And so, empowered thusly by your supreme honkifics, about a month ago I went to work with various channels of the most resourceful Jubilites I could find. Not to mention the ones with the least scruples about getting their hands dirty. I have no fucking idea. Good people, really. A dutiful ensemble of particularly salty clowns who just want to make the biggest difference possible, like me. So let's begin with an example of how one may use such levers. It's well known among upper echelons of our organization that Secretary Applepie herself targets her own parents in a bold initial implementation of praxis. But the success of that approach, while phenomenally instrumental in jump-starting this movement, fell far short of total success. They managed to secure most of their assets. So what other options exist? Well, one of the most direct options spelled out by the Supreme Honkifics is to apply assets towards legitimate acquisitions. A relatively small financial firm handles all their money, and once you have billions of dollars in the bank, the question becomes, can't you just outright buy certain companies, take control of them, and then begin to manipulate them to your advantage? Why not? Billionaires and corporations everywhere do this all the time. Buy out competition or purchase smaller inconvenient companies to simply strip them or destroy them, or absorb smaller companies into bigger ones after retrofitting them to suit a new purpose. This can work. And we have had success with that approach in a few cases. The problem is that it's been a bit slow and very much involves operating within the legal boundaries of a complex system in order to inflict damage on said system. There are much faster ways, and that's when things get more fun. As there's oh my god, I love her. I love her fucking vibe with the shorter hair. God, she's hot. Anime. As our Supreme Honkifax rightly points out, why go to the expense and bother of purchasing a company when you can simply compromise many of the people who are already running it? It's so much faster that way, and it cuts through a lot of red tape. Many of the people working in these financial firms are a bunch of spineless nerds who, while used to handling the amount of money we're talking about, are not used to actually being paid that much. This makes them highly susceptible to bribery, while their spinelessness makes them susceptible to acts of intimidation and coercion. And if you run into some guys who are afraid of the law, that's where the good exit package can help. Just dangle a few million in front of a greedy coward, along with some plane tickets to somewhere in South America, some new identity papers, whatever it takes, and then you have someone who is suddenly very cooperative in helping you move a few billion in assets around. But sometimes even all that isn't quite enough to get results. Sometimes you have a couple really tough customers who have been fleeced already, and they've already locked everything down. It's just the secretary experience, for instance. With hard targets like that, there are certain tactics of the last resort which can help move things along, if you catch my meaning. That isn't your call to make. Oh yes, I know that. I couldn't even dream of greenlighting such a play without your express approval first. I'm just saying, it's always on the table. for any of these depraved, capital-hoarding vultures, not just her parents. I was just using this as a convenient example. So why don't you tell me what's actually being done instead of explaining all my shit back to me? Absolutely! I'll waste no more time of your time supreme honk effects. We can all see you must attend to geopolitical concerns of higher magnitudes than my modest little accounting of reporting. So I shall cut straight to the chase. Anime is your favorite clown? One of your favorite clowns. Jesus. First, I should mention I have been dividing acquisitions over the last months into two columns, hard assets and soft assets. Assets, of course, are anything of value: cash, stocks, bonds, deeds to a property, equity of any sort. Hard assets are now under direct control of the Jubilite organization, such as money in one of our bank accounts or property owned by one of our members, and offered up to the organization. The total hard assets are now valued at well over 200 billion. Damn. Right? Not bad for a month of advanced prices, tireless round-the-clock prices by yours truly, mind you, but still a nice haul if I do say so myself. But it gets better. Soft assets I have defined as those not technically in our possession. These are assets still controlled by outsiders who happen to be seriously compromised by us in some way. This means that in the event it becomes necessary, there is a high likelihood the assets could be transferred to us. Naturally, it's hard to get a concrete tally of these resources, but my estimates have our global soft assets at about 1.5 trillion. That is a lot of fucking money. It sure is. It turns out it's a lot easier to move this kind of money around than you think it is, since there's barely any real footprint to our movement. If we want to quietly transfer stock from a hedge fund into our portfolio, it's just assigned to one of our members rather than a formal Jubilite entity that's easily traced. There's something so cool about seeing Jubilite assets numbers. It is! It's so cool! We're already counting occupied property as hard assets, that is, any empty house or building our forces have seized, and which authorities have deemed too difficult to reclaim. For instance, we have well-armed Jubilite stations in thousands of empty summer homes in Martha's Vineyard alone. That is billions of dollars worth of property. Not even to speak of the value of the entire island of which we stand. Such seizures have been taking place almost everywhere in the world. I must say, it makes accounting estimates difficult. However, I believe you will find my rough figures to be quite reliable. It is a power fantasy. It really is. It is like a power fantasy of like a revolutionary movement, like, but also like not like a power fantasy in the sense that it's all perfect, because it also tackles the idea of, you know, pairs dying, and even though it's not being shown or talked about, like, this is going to be fucking, like, a lot of people have surely died from, like, the police retaliating and the military retaliating, aside from just pairs. And Zed has said it, like, a lot of people's lives are hanging on a very thin thread, and she's the one that holds it right now. The sociological revolutionary equivalent of doom. Who? And all these people you compromised to account for the $1 trillion in soft assets. Where are these? Where are they? Oh, and all these people you compromised to account for $1 trillion in soft assets. Where are these people? Everywhere. I began by targeting the most obvious pressure points in the American economy, the big investment firms, banks and such. But the more I began delegating the generalized principles of advanced practice through networks, the more our people began to improvise and target many more entities. There are now thousands of Jubilite operatives working on this. They're squeezing marks in all the big companies: Amazon, Exxon, Facebook, a lot of people in Facebook actually, including Zuckerberg himself, which I don't mind stating with a certain amount of pride. Huh, really? Trust me, Supreme Honk Effects, we got this guy by the balls. Nice, sounds like that should come in handy. Oh, believe me, it already has. It turns out compromising the human resource infrastructure of just about any major corporation yields a wider range of benefits than just increasing the financial fluidity of our movement. Pull the strings on a social media giant, control narratives more easily. On a energy giant, influence global geopolitics to our advantage. On a entertainment giant, well, you can change a lot of hearts and minds that way, can't you? Unless... what are you getting at? I've been quite pleased to see Secretary Apple by herself taking up the cause of advanced praxis, totally unprompted and uninstructed, also without including me in the loop or coordinating with my networks in any way. Are you talking about Abby's K-pop shit? Yes, her excellent work with that Korean group, which is remarkably popular, somehow by utilizing the world-renowned status she has achieved through your visionary work, she has convinced the band members to engage in praxis and commandeer the entertainment company they are under contract with. Yeah, I know about this. This company has made about 100 million in revenue last year, and yet due to the way the secretary has gone about this, she has not compromised them in a way that will allow our organization to siphon any of that revenue away from the company. That's why it's so important for those engaging in advanced praxis to stay connected with my network, to make sure we benefit from each operation. I understand that this was a pet project of hers because she admires these particular musicians. Yeah, I thought it was. I thought she was just like fucking around. I'm amazed she got them to actually do it. And so I am! Nothing but respect for my secretary. I don't think she compromised them though. I think they're just doing their own thing. Like, taking control of their own shit and vibing with some of the same anti-imperialist shit we do. I think Abby's just having fun helping them out is all. And there surely is no harm in having a bit of fun during all this. That's what Price is all about, right? But I'd also wonder what the exact utility of establishing such high-profile contacts with no intent of exploiting them. Abby could never let us do that. Precisely! Which is why I can't help but feel... what? Well, considering her rank and the influence she holds and the examples she could be setting, I can't help but feel that as much as I love everything she has contributed to her movement, that perhaps someone could be occupying her position who could possibly contributes a little bit more to the movement. Tangibly, I mean, in terms of improving the bottom line, someone who helps bring a strong financial return on all these advanced praxis efforts, you know? Oh yeah, I mean you're wrong. The type of person you describe could objectively be a better fit for the number 2 spot. Can't even argue with that. Everything you just said honestly sounds like fucking incredible, really sensational work. In a month you got more money coming in than I thought we'd get in like years. I guess that makes this such a shame. What's a shame? Do you need to... What are you doing? What are you doing? She's going to shoot her, isn't she? Revolver Ocelot. What are you doing? Stop! Why do you have to do that? Is this necessary, Abby? Is this necessary, Abby? Oh my god, stop! And grab. Oh! Straight through! Stop! Stop already! She's still falling! That's an Undertale noise. Oh my god! That was so ridiculous, I cannot even take it seriously. It doesn't mimic any specific Revolver Ocelot instant, just the style and feel of Ocelot for no real reason. Everyone be like, what the fuck? Traders get bullets. God! Straight up, huh? Wow! Wow! That's all she had to say. Traders get bullets. Yeah! Missile Pip loved it. I guess you must have heard what happened today. Ups, Abby. Bitch, I'm trying to have a conversation with a normal person. Incredibly, having to spend all day with a bunch of weird ass-kissing clowns makes me feel like I'm losing my mind. Missile Pip is thrilled. I like Missile Pip. Missile Pip, you're beloved. Yeah, sorry. You know, I was actually fearing that Jokeling was going to fucking try to replace, like Z. Like, there were more clowns there, and I thought, like, Z was going to say no, and then she was going to be like, oh, what a shame, because I have already, like, gotten a lot of loyalists within the fucking organization, so you are the one getting kicked out. But nope, she just got fucking killed immediately. I'm just in the middle of an important conversation. Is it your K-pop boy? Yes. How's it been going with him? Very good. It feels so surreal being on speaking terms with one of my idols, though. Guess I can relate. I mean, to him, not to you, lol. Just like somebody tells me something like that every day now. Yeah, I guess cult of personality is a powerful thing. It sucks, actually, but yeah. So you're hatching more schemes over there with what's-his-face, the little boy? Namjoon? Yeah. Lol, I think at this point you're just forgetting their names on purpose. Maybe you should cut it out. Didn't you used to hate it when people got your name wrong? Well, yeah, I did until I changed my name and it stopped mattering. Maybe they should pick themselves new cool names, just like me. They did! When BTS was just starting out, Namjoon called himself Rap Monster. Oh, Jesus Christ, well, never mind then. No. So, you got him to hijack his shitty record label. What next? More pranks? Yeah, we're talking about more options. It's crazy the amount of influence they have over what could happen in their country. Probably even more than you have here. Well, yeah, clearly, I'm just an American anti-hero cult figure or something, but enemy number one to the state. Those guys are so benign, way too much cock energy to be threatening to anyone, but I'm glad to see you're helping them fuck things up. I'm not really trying to fuck anything up though, I'm just happy to see them taking full control of their destiny as artists. And I'm barely even doing anything for them. It's all they're doing, really. What about you? Haven't you made inroads with people you admired? I saw that Post Malone is a Jubilite now. It sure seems that way. Got some new clown tats and everything. Fucking wild. So why don't you reach out to him? I can't. I just fucking embarrass myself and fangirl out if I talk to him. I've got my whole mistake. Besides, I don't think I can, in any good conscience, drag Positive into this mess. It could probably destroy the poor guy's life. I'm not saying to go mess with him or anything. I bet he would like to hear from you, is all. I know this is all insane and very serious business all the time, but I still think you should try to get in the original spirit of it when you can. You know, try to have fun. Fun. Yeah, right. How can I think about fun? Do you know what happened today? Yes, you already tried to ask me, and I was just trying to keep my mind occupied so I don't have to dwell on that stuff. I'm sure you have good reasons to dealing with Jekyll in that way. You're trying to keep us all alive here, and that probably means making tough decisions, but anything like that, like violent stuff, it really triggers me, even thinking about it, so I have to keep myself sane. I know, I don't mean to push it on your face. I never even told you about her because I didn't want to upset you. Tell me what? About a month ago, I figured out she was one of the girls who terrorized me after my breakdown a few years ago. And somehow she climbed the ladder as an undercover clown. Oh jeez, that is really scary. I don't even think she had a problem with me after all this time. I don't even believed it in anything. She never actually cared about my original problematic shit I got cancelled for. She just enjoyed using it as an excuse to trash on me. And as she saw a chance to get involved with something cool and make herself important and took it. Couldn't be surprised if her long game was gunning for my spot, not just yours. I just didn't tell anyone I knew so I could keep a close eye on her. At least it's over? Yeah, but I have to be more careful. What a fucking train wreck all of this is. Anyone could be anyone. Really cool of me to build an organization, which by definition lets your membership conceal who you really are. I just need a tighter ring, that's all. I got too sloppy. I'm sure you'll figure it out. We've really painted ourselves to a corner here. There's so much danger, and we can't really reverse course, so... Hope you don't mind if I sing myself into these distractions. Yeah, that's fine. We're just vibing tonight. Here, want some? Oh, no thanks. I'm good with the wine. You really must be tapping into the drinks right now. How much is that bottle? A couple $100, I think? Ugh, ew. Oh, that is nasty shit. You might as well just go out to the bar and top your glass up with Dave Hasselhoff steak. Oh my fucking god! Oh, it's fine. Anyways, when did you start placing it? Since like a billion tons of wheat started getting smuggled into the island, seems like a lot of land is getting adapted to wheat farming now. That's cool. I guess Jubilite Faith does need an economy after all. Seems like a good export model. Did you order people to do that? No. A lot of shit just sorta happens now. I barely have to do anything operational except preside over the occasional clown execution. Yeah, let's hope that duty stays very occasional. I don't know, my hair list is pretty long by now. Oh, please tell me you're joking. What, about doing more clown executions? Yeah, I was joking, but about the list, it's an actual thing. I thought you know about it. Yeah, I do know. I was hoping you'd just stop keeping up with it at some point. Are you still actually maintaining it? Well, damn it, see? There are just so many fucking people out to get us, really bad people. It's not even just old shitty haters like Jubilite anymore. I'm tracking nasty government and media people too. A bunch of corporate types, awful guys, you know. Yeah, I get it, they're all terrible. I just think this hit list stuff is really unhealthy for you. Like, psychologically. It makes you really paranoid and I'm worried that you... what? I just don't want to see you spiral into that dark place that got you started on all over on this again. I'll be fine. I know I complain about shit, but I feel much better than I ever did. Everything has a purpose now. I don't need to struggle with my direction in life or what I'm trying to accomplish. That's great and all, and I know you're smarter than me, so sometimes I feel crazy pointing out stuff that sounds really like basic, but all this list of people you keep is not the kind of thing that dictators do, like keep track of all the people they don't like who are expendable. That's a pretty melodramatic take. I'm not planning a mass purge of haters and antis. If that's what you're asking, if only because most of them fucking maggots aren't even worth the energy. Alright, if you say so, but I hope you don't mind if I just keep pulling back from all of this in any way I can. I'll always be here for you, of course, but I've been just considering just deactivating my social media account soon. Are you sure about that? No, it's just something I'm thinking about, to get a little more distance from everything and keep myself sane. People will see it as a formal resignation from your position in the chain of command though. Someone else could need to fill your void and you're the only person I trust. I know that. I'm really wrestling with it. I want to keep supporting you. I just haven't decided what to do with it yet. Alright then. I'm gonna go piss while you think about it. Keep K-pop monster my regards. While Abby talks to her new friend, who once named himself after a monster, you stare into the mirror at her old friend who may be in the process of turning herself into one. So much crazy stuff is happening constantly. It can be easy to start feeling numb to it. But maybe it's a good idea to reflect on certain surreal truths now and then. Like how maybe it feels pretty messed up when your chill wine body has to sincerely offer cautionary remarks or turning into Joseph Stalin. That's ridiculous, of course. Yes, many revolutionaries, after tasting success, could hear the siren song of mass murder, but you know in your heart you're different. You've never been more sure that you're doing this for all the right reasons, and anyone who tried to convince you otherwise would probably regret it. Mother... An urgent news article is blowing up on your phone, and nothing ever blows up on your phone until it's highly relevant to your movement. The fans and key members of your organization are always the first to push this story hard, and it always makes you nervous when it happens. Big stories rarely feel like they contain good news for you. And this one is certainly no exception. The reports say Abby's parents' mansion has just exploded. Both are presumably dead, but there is no official confirmation of their deaths. But you don't need confirmation, you know they're dead. Your people did this. There is no other explanation. And they couldn't have done it if they weren't sure the targets were inside at the time. You feel sick. This was her, Jacqueline. It had to be her. The bitch greenlit those orders behind your back before she died. When she floated the idea to you, it wasn't a hypothetical. The orders were already out. Fuck! Oh boy. And I think, I don't know, I am just waiting. You're afraid to go back and talk to Abby. You have no idea how you can break this to her. In fact, you probably don't even need to. She must have seen it on her phone already. What do you say? How can you explain this? You tiptoe out of the bathroom. You take impossibly tiny footstep back to the living room. Maybe you walk slowly, till something never arrive. Eh, I'm sorry. I'll be okay. A part of me always senses they might come. It wasn't supposed to, though. It was Jacqueline. She mentioned something about it, but I had no idea she already put this in motion without telling me. I guess I killed her before she had the chance to reverse the order. It's my fault. No, it's mine! I went along with it at the beginning. I just kept going. I could have stopped it any time, but I enjoyed it as much as you did. I finally felt like I was reclaiming part of my soul by ripping them off. The part of me that benefited from all their money at the expense of others. I thought if we could use their money to make a difference, it could make me feel better. But it went too far. All of this did. I mean, they weren't good people, though. I know they weren't. It wasn't their fault, though. They just made too much money and spent too much time with the wrong people, listened to too much bullshit, and they were family, and I didn't want this. I am going to disagree. I can, it is a fucked up son thing. But they just made too much money. It's not a thing. It is not a thing. If you are a rich person, you are a rich person by benefiting from the fucking labor of other people, and that in itself is already fucking over other people that could be using the money in that way. If you are born into a rich family and continue their practices, you're perpetuating that. And yeah, sure, maybe it's influence like inheritance, but if you're rich, there is a big probability that you are rich for the wrong reasons. And there are very few exceptions. Like, remember that guy that realized after seeing, he was a rich guy and had like a bunch of mansions, and then a friend lost their house and they had the epiphany that maybe I am being an asshole by being a hoarder, and so they actually made their company good and they reduced their fucking salary and became a their company boomed and their workers were happy, and they were like, I am setting an example for other companies to follow through, and then none of them followed through, and now he's speaking out against that kind of behavior because he has seen that he cannot just lead by example because people are fucking selfish and are abusing workers and letting people die while they get richer. That's an example I like. Because it is honestly one of the very few examples I can think of that happening, and the moral of the story isn't, oh, there's rich people that are good. It's, these rich people realize that other rich people are not going to be good on their own. So you know. Personally speaking, I know this feels really heavy right now, but you get used to being free of your bad parents. I should have felt liberating after you let some time go by. See, I don't think that's a nice thing to say right now, but I'm too sad to be mad about it. I have to deactivate my accounts. I'm sure you'll be able to find someone who isn't a backstabber to help you. I'll still follow you all the way because I love you, but there are certain things I can't do anymore. Psychic damage? Psychic damage. Revolution is fucked up. It's necessary for change, but it will never be pretty at all, and the people are going to go fucked up because the mistakes made to keep it up going will be big. Yeah. And there needs to be a social change, but slow social change will mean that people keep getting hurt. And rapid social change means a dramatic upheaval that will hurt people, because it will, if it's fast, it's because it will be a dramatic change, and if it's dramatic, it will fuck people over. We have built ourselves into a, society, a place where we just cannot, actually get out of it without people hurting, and it is hard because it is good to try to improve the world, but to improve the world, things are probably going to get worse first. Oh! The feeling of harbor leaves a void. Rage fills it quickly as usual. At first it's anger at yourself. You knew Jacqueline was a traitor, but you strung her along for an entire month, letting her play her games while you were betting your time, waiting for the right moment to put her down. If only you hadn't been so lenient. People hurt each other. Yeah. You could have pulled the trigger weeks earlier, before she had a chance to get carried away. Or you could have just shot her the day you found out about her treachery. But why should you be angry at yourself? She was the one who killed Abby's parents, and she was the one who cancelled you, beating yourself up for leniency is just playing to the hands of people like this. It's letting them win. No, she's the one who deserves all the rage. Everyone like her deserves your rage. And maybe even more than just that. Maybe they all deserve what you only had coming as well. But you can't start thinking about that way. You remember what I was telling you about your hater lists, about what that could lead to. You already hurt it so much, you can't let yourself put her through the more grief than she's already endured. You don't know how you'd be able to live with yourself if you destroyed her. You're exhausted, you tell yourself the same thing you've been telling yourself most nights when trying to get to sleep. All these problems will probably seem less insane and unsolvable in the morning. You're never right, obviously, but you tell yourself anyway, like a comforting lullaby. Oh! 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 And another one, huh? Void Rage. Slow down, Hussy. No, she's Rage. Oh, and on the whole planet straight up, huh? Oh, is she growing in size? Like, as her influence grows, maybe? God, this is pretty though! Like, even though a lot of the game is like in a very like pixelated style and a lot of it is like deep fried and like a very like intentional thing, this is very cool. Like, this panel is so cool, I love it! God, look at this! Like, scenography! Riotous. Yes. Don't go. We need to talk. Where could I go? As long as you feel driven to survive, I will always be with you. I meant don't fuck off suddenly. I need answers. No, I need help. I love how nasty the style is, and I love how it makes the actually genuinely cool, like, moments look that much better. I'm only unavailable the moment you wake up. Your time with me is only fleeting if you waste it. God. I need to know if you're real, or am I just losing it? If I were a figment of your imagination, couldn't I just answer yes, I am real? Your subconscious could insist on my reality through this lie to continue tricking you. Cinnamon topography, yep. And if I were real, couldn't I simply lie about that as well to plant seeds of doubt in your head about the origin of the ideas you are sharing with the world? This just sounds like fancy bullshit way of saying maybe I can't trust anything you say, but perhaps you can't. Didn't you already know that? Why are you asking me to confirm something to you when you know the mere act of confirmation could be part of the deception? Couldn't it be better to assume I'm real and ask me these important questions you have? Then after the answer, you're free to wake up and decide the value of those answers have when making your next decisions. Ugh, okay. Last time you were popping off like your like insane psychic imperialism. I was? Yeah, that's what you were hinting at. Then what's your question? I don't know yet. I guess I'm trying to confirm that's what's going on here based on my presumption you're real. As I just explained, I can't even confirm I am real, let alone confirm what you just asked. But I can continue doing what as I have done, which is to speak of certain possibilities. Like what? Such as the possibility that I was not even the first Jubilite as your manifesto describes. Huh, are you saying you aren't? I am saying you should consider the possibility that I am not. Consider that I was once a member of a race of people on a far-off planet which was not called Winsifei and who had never heard of the Jubilites or even had a particular affinity for clowns. Man, what the fuck? Also consider that I was visited in my dreams by a being that was self-described as the first Jubilite from a planet called Whimsifei, and she told me everything I have told you. Eventually, she began telling me to consider even deeper truths about her reality. She began asking me to consider that she was not the first either, and then came the promises. She promised glory, infamy, immortality. She promised the transcendence of the physical form, of attachment to my original planet and culture. She promised even that... Sorry, thought I heard something. She promised a transcendence of the physical form, of attachment to my original planet and culture, or even that I could rise above everything I accomplished with the conquest of my own world. She told me there was so much more to discover if only I persevere and achieve absolute victory. Are you telling me that's what's in store me if I when? I'm not telling you anything. I'm asking you to consider this just as she was. Okay. I think I get the game you're playing, and like weird verbal rules it has for some fucking reason, whatever, I can play along. You already have been. As I said before, you've been doing very well. So when she told you that stuff hypothetically, what did you do? I continued doing what I was already doing, because regardless of where these ideas originated, I believed what I was doing for my work was right, but I continued with additional vigor. Huh. Because it was then that I began to believe I was becoming a crucial part of something which had a greater cosmic significance. It seemed to me that I was assuming a place in a lineage of unfathomably consequential figures which spans millions of years and billions of stars. I guess that's a sort of motivation, sure. Jubilite the reproduction system for the clown gods. Like Suburb is the reproduction of the universe. It's interesting! It doesn't sound like the type of idea which motivates you though. I don't know, it's a fucking lot. That's a perfectly reasonable stance, and it is why my predecessor felt it was important to leave the truth of herself as speculative, and why I'm doing this with you as well, because there is no motivation which can truly substitute the feeling of convictions that what you are doing right now is right. And that sense must come within you, not from fairy tales of space and infamy. Well, I do think what I'm doing is right, but it's also really fucking hard, and it's fucking my friendship, and making me fucking sad all the time. I didn't say it was easy. In fact, I'm telling you the opposite, just as my predecessors told me. But it sounds like she lit a fire in your ass all the same. When she told you all the stuff, didn't you say like, with extra vigor? Yes. What does that even mean? It means I was brutal. Is this not what you wanted to hear? It sounds fucked up. And it sounds like what I'm already worried about, and what Abby is really worried about. I don't think I can hurt her anymore. I remember what it was like to have mortal concerns like this. I feel nothing but sympathy for what you're experiencing, but these are very small matters compared to the grand scale we are discussing, you must understand. It sounds like you're trying to convince me being more hardcore about this, but trust me dude, I am already there. You really aren't. Man, I've made fucking a lesson. You shot a girl today and she killed Abby's parents, and I am not lecturing you, I am actually paying you a compliment. You have come so much further than I did in a much shorter period of time. How long did it take you? It took me many years to crush all my old forces of opposition on my planet. The lives lost were countless. You have spent only months pursuing your mission, and yet incredibly, you are on the precipice of total victory. I am? The fact that success is so nearly within your grasp may not be obvious to you, but it is very clear to me. So, if what I'm hearing is right, you've been coming into my dreams basically to finally tell me how much better at this I am than you. That is not inaccurate. But it is also foolish to be overconfident, and even more foolish to assume the level of brutality you have already inflicted will be remotely sufficient for completing your mission. Withdrawing now from your instincts for survival and the violence that flows from it naturally could be a great mistake. I don't know if I really... I mean, Abby thinks I should just delete the list. God, I love the visuals! She's not the supreme Honkifax, you are, I know. There were so many who opposed me too. Their methods and motivations are always the same. Ridicule, jealousy, conniving, greed, lust for your power. They will all try to kill you eventually, I promise. So, I should, you remember why you wrote your list originally, don't you? Yeah, don't you remember what they did to deserve it? There is nothing else for me to say, because you already know this is as well as I. The moment you wrote down their names, they were already dead. Oh my god. You wake up and it's still nighttime. How long were you out? It could have been more than a few hours. The dream was the most intense you've ever had, so intense you're bleeding somehow. And you've been grabbing your phone so tight your hand hurts. What the... It appears your entire hater list has been copied into a text message addressed to Crank 3. Did you do this in your sleep? They've been responding with understandable confusion. They are wondering what the purpose of this list is and what you wanted to do. But you know there's only one possible reason you could have dropped this list here, unconsciously or otherwise. Understanding the correct moral choice is really what's that hard. You usually have more than enough information available to decide. A good friend who loves you. A girl who's done everything in her power to keep you from going astray. And offered her collateral as collateral was her heart, which would shatter if you fell too far. But there are other factors to consider. Factors which all good sense and the hearts of our loved ones have rarely been able to compete with. There is the factor of inevitability. Your vision was inevitable. The sledgehammer is taken to the capitalist order of this planet was inevitable. And what is perhaps also inevitable is your wrath. As Riotous rightly pointed out, these people brought this upon themselves. The moment they spoke your name with a sense of spite, they should have known they were speaking of suicidal curse, inviting this inevitability into their lives someday. Oh boy! Inevitability which is defined by the forces which try to stop it. Its strength is measured by everything that gets in its way only to be crushed. The power of a nation, the heart of a friend, and even the conscience of the host, or that is to say, the vessel meant to deliver the unstoppable. Your conscience can make you bleed through your nose and turn your knuckles white to put up a fight against the inevitable. But just like every single one of these miserable fucking rats, it never even stood a fucking chance. Wow! Pickle Rick.fart is dead. I cannot believe it. So things are getting fucking intense, huh? Wow! 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 She has gone fucking off the deep end. Shut up, Steve, please. Shut up, Steve, please. Execute anti-sex. Execute anti-sex. No, the Order 66 of clowns could be 420. They're not dead yet, but they are going to be very soon. Oh boy. You'll love to see it. Finally taking the gloves off. I mean, makes it more real now. It's not a game anymore. Of course, it's never was a game to begin with. It's always been serious shit. But the way some of these chucklefucks like to run their mouths, you might never know it. Girl was winning. Where did they think this was going to lead to? Did they not understand that talking shit has consequences? That the supreme honk effects is not a woman with whom these sewer rats should trifle? Oh well, problem solved. That's the thing about having loud shitty opinions online. Once you stop existing, your bad opinions stop mattering, Ulvma. Like somebody once said, when there's a person, there's a problem. When there's no person, there's no problems. So it stands to reason when lots of people disappear, a whole lot of problems go away, right? You fucking met. Okay, should we do the fucking fake choice again? It's what you've come to expect from me after all. And just like you, I hate letting my fans down. Almost as much as I hate letting my antis off the hook. So what are the possibilities at this juncture? Not that it fucking matters, cause you know, I'm just gonna log the thing again. But let's just agree to humor each other once more time. Wait, on second thought, call off the hated purge. You just order like a weak bitch. Boo-hoo-hoo! Innocent people will die! Just forget you ever dreamt you were any sort of hard ass and go crying back to mommy in her grave like a scared like little piss baby. I'm sure the world will understand. Or you could embrace your destiny, realize like so many other great conquerors before you that this is simply what it takes. Spare the worms, not a single precious thought, be in the moment you gave that order. Yeah, we all know the drill now. Meaningful choices in the story can only be unlocked by a true successor, and that's still not you. Not quite yet. You're so damn close though, it's like Riotous was just saying. You're really speedrunning this shit. Running so fast. Almost like you're running your own ability to stop, think, and make real decisions. Maybe once you figure out how to do that, it will finally click. The missing piece will fall into place, and that successor status which you've fallen just short of for so long, It'll finally be yours, won't it? Lol, I just gave the whole fucking thing away, didn't I? Oh ma, whatever. See you again soon then. You were joking about the clown fascism? Grinch heart. I am going to do this last chapter, and 9 out of 9 will be the finale. I don't know how long it will be, but we'll have a big discussion afterwards and like talk about it. This is fucking intense! Also, I think the last chapter is like really big, so I kind of want that to be 1 month later. The brand hasn't been doing too badly these days. In fact, it could be hard to imagine how it could be doing any better, considering your account has no more followers than any other account in the world. Short of Instagram itself, but even then, with Instagram sitting at 358 million, you aren't too far behind passing that milestone either. You can rank the clones in the cast page when you finish, ooh! Oh, like chapter 9. And you don't see much standing in your way of that feat, seeing as you recently made short work of other names you once thought untouchable. No, don't tell me, I am going to just like keep going. It was 35 days ago you dealt with Jocelyn and ordered the great summer purge of 2020 late that night. While your cover tops people all over the world were quietly mowing down the haters in the Andes, your brand was busy zipping past the top accounts. In the final week of July, it was Kim Kardashian, then Selena Gomez, and Kylie Jenner. I have no idea who Kylie Jenner is. It is very long, huh? Okay, good. 3 queens who you are never quite sure could never bother to bat an eye at a pest like you. How quickly they've been reduced to relative obscurity and poverty compared to you. You doubt you'd even answer a text message from any of them at this point. Days later, your topple actor and professional wrestler Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, followed shortly by musician and actress named Ariana Grande. Impressive milestone to pass for sure, but by then you weren't even paying attention to them. Your race was squarely locked in the number 1 spot, held by legendary footballer Wait! Cristiano Ronaldo has the most people on Instagram? God, that's fucking bullshit. I fucking hate football so much. Fuck football. You had never heard of him since you know nothing about soccer? That football soccer, who cares? But he's a good-looking guy and you made sure to blow him a kiss as you pass him. None of this is personal unless they make it personal, in which case you have the ways of dealing with that. And then you mostly checked out of observing the rise, letting almost another 100 million followers pile on top of that. The feeding frenzy fueling your brand is practically an autopilot, and it's undeniably political. Everyone in the world wants to keep an eye on the clown girl who somehow has her boot on the face of a hopeless, disease-stricken failed state known as America. Sport gets you Insta followers and spare from jail time. It's basically magic. I hate fucking sports. But you're still somewhat taken aback by the continued success of your account, considering you don't post nearly as much content as you used to. It was once the most critically priority, pushing that content out every day. It was the sole driver of the numbers, whereas now the movement is, along with the geopolitical complexity, resulting from your every move, just as well. She's just on top of it. Wow. Producing a broad range of engaging social media content is a core you really don't need, since you got a rouge state to run. Rather than carefully planning shoots and crafting the perfect aesthetic as you have been doing, as you once did, you've mostly been getting by posting near all your sick and very expensive contraband. Fortunately, your subscribers seem more than appeased by these offerings. Speaking of geopolitical complexity! While a cold civil war has been simmering under the surface of daily American life since your treaty brought open hostilities to a relative standstill, there has been no such peace around the world. The Jubilite race transcends culture and language barriers, and some countries have gone crazier with it than others. The media is most abuzz with the events of last week, which saw the fall of the Russian government. Jubilites ransacked the Kremlin and now have full control over the military. This was surprising to you. A Russian coup somehow wasn't on your radar at all, but you guess it wasn't too out of the character for the nation. Speaking of Russia, It was about 100 years ago that these people did roughly the same thing. After all, maybe the instinct for left-click revolution passed on by their ancestors was activated by your radical clown messaging. Maybe it wasn't their plan all along, and that's why their shitty regime was the first thing to fall. But many other countries don't seem far behind, and appear to be on the brink of collapse too, as the rowdy Jubilite factions continue to swell. They could do! They could do! If America is to share the same fate, it won't happen like it just did in Russia. America's brand of imperialism and capitalism was built to take a beating, designed to bring the whole world down with it if it ever was truly threatened. So however you play this, you'll need to tread it very carefully. You'll need to prepare a good strategy, especially since if anything goes wrong, the backlash will be felt first and foremost fiercely by your tiny summer colony. In short, you'll need to prepare for war. So preparing for war is exactly what you've been doing this month. You have fully militarized the former island of Nantucket with your advanced pranksters methods still in full effect. Even without Jokelin's oversight, the state of New Whimsy Fae has amassed nearly $8 trillion in hard assets and several trillion in soft assets. The tabulations of these resources has never been an exact science, but then economists probably run into similar difficulties assessing the true extent of an entire nation's economic value, and that roughly describes the nature of your global movement now. It's a national rivaling the GNI of many industrialized countries, with its population and assets spread out across every country in the world. Honestly, same, Iris! I am just... And that's pretty cool, you think? But that doesn't mean you are getting complacent. You have no intention of letting these assets go to waste. Counted among your hard assets are many tangible acquisitions, including caches of weapons, vehicles, fuel, all the supplies from the world, and many other staples of societal self-sufficiency stats in every nation you could name. I know, right? Also missile tip. All conceivable contraband necessary for burgeoning a global paramilitary organization, and then some. Much of this equipment has ended up in your island. You've established relationships with military contracting companies, which once viewed you with great suspicion due to your adversarial nature with their richest client, the US government. But recently they've become exponentially easier to do business with. You have no idea, Iris! Oh, you're discovering their allegiance turns out to be quite fungible when the executive starts smelling money, or even more intoxicatingly, a sea change in the entire world order. It just went wild. It's nothing you'll ever see covered in the media, but the moment Russia was seized by Jubilites, virtually the entire global economic order went into a motion behind the scenes, beginning to rearrange itself to hedge all the bets. No one really knows who will come out on top after all of this, and strangely, most of these people barely even care. And the thing this happened because a cop wanted to kill a drunk driver, yeah. I know, Jade! They just don't want to be left holding the bag if they didn't bet on the winner. They all remind you of Abby's dad, who found new religion through Biden once his money started feeling sad. Plutocrats, oligarchs, financiers, and war profiteers are always unknowingly eager to find new rings to kiss. And the newer and shinier the ring is, the faster they run to kiss it. You've just discovered another echelon of simps. Another echelon of simps! Oh, Z hasn't done a single communist thing yet. Economy is still capitalism. Why is there an AH-64 Apache helicopter? It simps all the way up society's ladder, and the higher they climb, the harder they simp. And so the transactions began to flow. A few fighter jets here, some anti-aircraft missiles here. Much of this war junk, to your surprise, actually came gratis. Friendly uprising lost leaders to Greece. War is white doom. Yeah. To Greece, the wheels meant to establish a good business rapport with a young and stylish up-and-coming warlord. The only warlord in human history with a absolutely fire insta. It should be a handy. You're right. Few accounts leave you gobsmacked these days. Outcomes. But you have to admit, watching military companies tripping over themselves to give you billions of dollars worth of free shit is pretty high on the list. She just sounds like fucking... Heidi. Colonel. Fucking... like... how are, like, aircraft carriers? What the actual fuck? I'm imagining Missile Pip is the new... Of course! The classy is with the fucking horse. He's petting the horse! On the home front, your inner circle has become considerably more insular and well-bedded. A new right hand has emerged, a loyal and quiet clown named Missile Pip. She's been in Ring 3 from the very beginning, and her diligent, no-nonsense service has earned your trust. They hate to see a clone boss winning. It has to be H codes, come on, those initials are too perfect. Oh, I see. C is Big Boss, and she's not a bad helicopter pilot either, considering she just started figuring it out this week after the new shipment of Apaches arrived. But even as paranoia makes your inner circle shrink, your revenge list grows. Oh no. Since the night your purge was issued, your assassins have been working steadily and the body count has grown steeper. Abby, of course, wants nothing to do with this. Though she's retired for any formal position in the organization, she still hangs around the house since she has nothing else to do and nowhere else to go. She just keeps herself distracted with her personal projects, which have been going about as well as anything else within Jubilite Faith lately. She's been working directly with the guy you will never stop referring to as Rap Monster, even though that's not his name anymore. He and his his bandmates have effectively taken control of South Korea and are currently in negotiations with the previous government over how to handle the full transition of power. Unlike the raucous, wanton clownish spectacle that took place in Russia recently, the revolution has been elegant and friendly, just like the boys themselves. The Korean government almost seems flattered that the boys offered to take over. Most of the country seems to be completely ecstatic about it. Oh my god. Is her Master Miller? Inside you find Abby in her usual spot carved out of the hovel that has become her summer home. One's posh living room. You observe that it looks much more similar to your old apartment's depression nest than it does to her parents' original interior decorating scheme. Empty bottles everywhere. You'd be surprised if there was anything left in her previously decadent wine cellar. You shudder to think where some of these vintages came from. The Nantucket Stop and Shop? Yikes. She also seems to have taken to vaping weed and listening to loud music almost constantly, whatever gets her through the stage, I guess. Abby? Abby? Huh? Can you turn that shit down? I need to think about the strategy. Oh, yeah, sure! Oh! Okay, that's actually extremely funny. Flump. Oh, Abby. It's kinda early for you to be this wasted. Sorry, I just hardly have anything to do anymore. I can't even be on social media. There's nothing to do in town except like hang out with crazy people who treat me weirdly because of my celebrity. Also, the whole island is a cesspit of coronavirus and I don't want to be contributing to that scene. Yeah, that should become a fucking problem, didn't it? But it also be a problem everywhere in this shitty country, so I don't know, kind of an easy target to blame the anarchists of Clown Island for losing control of a disease that the most powerful nation on Earth lost control of months ago. Oh, believe me, I'm aware. That's why if I ever really wanted to leave this place, I'm not sure where I'd even go. America's hell, and I'm pretty sure I'm on the most wanted terror list by now. Lol, what about Korea? Yeah, boy, Rap Monster could always run you asylum. Doesn't he basically run that whole fucking country now? I think so. The political situation there is confusing. I think he's working out some sort of deal with the existing government, a treaty of some sort. Kind of like what you did. Oh yeah. It's just like he's well on his way to just being the de facto president. That's how these things go. With the support he has, I'm sure the old government will be vestigial in no time. Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't talked to him in a while. He's too busy and I don't want to bug him. It's one thing for me to encourage a coup initially, but now that it has a life of its own, I don't actually know anything about politics. I can't help these guys anymore. At the end of the day, I'm just an overzealous fangirl who got carried away. Oh, 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 fucking Gabi, no. So that's a known South Korean asylum. Damn, I guess I should cross it off my list so if the shit gets so hot. I don't know if it's a no. I don't know anything. It still feels completely insane to me. I was talking to them. I was talking to them at all. I could feel presumptuous asking them to protect me from the full wrath of the American government. I guess it was Fiji, huh? It was my original getaway location, remember, before I even came here. Oh yeah, sounds fucking nice actually. Yeah, I'm not even serious about leaving. A bit scared too, I think. We're completely surrounded. What if the plane just got shut down? I guess it's possible. It's not like I want you to go either. With all due respect to Secretary Missile Repair, who has been solid as fuck. You're still all I got. I'd absolutely fucking lose it if you weren't here. And that probably couldn't be a good for anybody. No, it sure couldn't. Just forget I said anything. I'll go back to my trash pile and keep vaping all this weed. Oh, come on. As long as you're here and you say you got nothing to do, why not hang out with us and help? I told you already, I'm useless politically. This is so far over my head now. It's also insane and scary. And there are too many dead people in the news all the time and too much military industrial stuff all over the island. You should. Didn't they like fix a bunch of stuff like that wasn't too good about it? I know how fucked up it all is, but saying you're useless is bullshit. You helped me so much in the beginning. None of this could have happened without you. You are very smart and trustworthy and decent. The movement only suffered without your input. But you stopped listening to my input. I said how weird I felt about killing and stuff, and you just ended up putting hits out on your entire insane list. Well, yeah. That wasn't a bad place that night. A bad place? How many people are dead now? Who even were those people? A broad consortium of abject filth who had it coming. But the point is, I probably couldn't have done it if you just stuck around and kept me in line with like your good sense and morals and whatever. Let's see, you can put this on me! Please don't make me feel responsible for the good and bad things you do. That's why I pulled back, because it hurts too much to feel complicit in every fucked up turn of the stakes. Do you know what emotional abuse is? If you say you're going to hurt people unless I keep being involved and play the role of your conscience, that's what it is. Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have even said that it was fucked up. Okay, look, I haven't ordered a single hit since that night. What do you think to say? Also, is it even true? I keep hearing shit. Okay, it's mostly true. More people got added to the list, but not like antis or whatever. I mean, like ghastly capitalist scumbags with real blood on their hands. Okay. Nothing like what happened that night though. It was off the deep end, messed up of what my creepy stalker did to your parents and having crazy visions and shit. The only reason you keep hearing about stuff happening is because the guys keep working through the list. You know how they are, like goddamn dog with a bone. Jesus, what? This conversation is ludicrous. This is why I backed off. Do you even know what you're saying anymore? I think like a mass execution list you signed off a month ago is just something out of your hands now, and your clowny deaths brigade will do whatever it's going to do. The thing I had to read in the news, the Bezos said. That was you, right? I mean, it wasn't on the list, yeah? Rape Ghastly added on the list. No, Ghastly! Why was he even on that list? Is this what we're doing now, really? Shed some sad literal tears for Jeff fucking Bezos? No, I don't give a shit about Jeff Bezos. He sucked. Exactly. So what's the problem? Do you realize that when he died, Amazon's stock price didn't even go down? It went up actually. So he was just a stooge, a little weasel man who barely even mattered, a guy who had too much money, who thought he was important. Yeah, I'm not hearing an argument for why he should still be alive. I'm not even making an argument. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, but maybe the point is that it sounds like there are times when you don't either. I don't know, I think the statement was pretty simple. The dude was evil and had too much money because he exploited all his workers, so now he's dead, which is good. Okay, and then what? Are those workers still being exploited? Oh, almost certainly. So what next? How do you stop that? I'm working on it. This is all a very complicated process involving a campaign being waged on multiple fronts at once. You know this as you actually stay in the loop instead of lying around stoned all day. And it's hard enough coordinating all this shit without your help, let alone when I have to contend with your liberal finger wagging. I'm not being liberal, this isn't some lip shit, like, I think about poor Jeff Bezos nonsense. What the fuck do I even have to do to prove to you that I'm not Hillary fucking Clinton? I helped you steal my parents' money to fund your socialist clown movement, and then one of your backstabbing antis blew up their house. I hid from you from the cops for weeks while you launched your brand, and then I went along with it while you planned the execution of the entire police force. Then I supported you when you faked a terrorist incident to steal literally thousands of homes from the residents of this island. How much more do I have to do to show I don't have any sympathies for the evil forces we have been fighting this entire time? Can you understand that I'm wondering where you are actually going with this insane purges of haters and rich people? It's not about some ideological reservation. It has more to do with the fact that I'm actually scared of this whole situation you put us in. Mr. Blip! God. Yeah, I get that. I wasn't never even married to the idea of knocking off everybody on my shit list. I could just put it on the order to hold the operation. Is that what you want? No, because you're asking me again, which means you're implicating me in the decision-making process. You're outsourcing your conscience, which means I have the responsibility to stop you from doing bad shit. And I already told you I can't take the stress of that. I see. Maybe we should dial it down? We're gelling in front of Missile Blip. She's very sensitive. I don't give a fuck about the Missile Blip! Wow. I'm sorry, Missile Blip. You know what I meant. This has nothing to do with you. Okay. Missile Blip's feelings notwithstanding, I think I see where you're coming from. You don't want to be like the angel on my shoulder or whatever. I already knew that. I was cool with you checking out, but it really sounds more like you're worried about what's gonna happen to us because you don't think I have a coherent plan. Like, I'm just offing guys for the hell of it and triggering the collapse of 4 income governments, which kicks ass and all, but ultimately I don't know where this is going. Is that it? Yeah, pretty much. Okay then, help me with some plans. Get involved in these plans so you can see I have a plan. That's what we're just about to do, see? Missile Blip, just Missile Blip. But all these fucking maps, I could just walk you through the next play to help set your mind at ease. Okay, I'll listen to what it is you're planning. Poor Missile Blip. So we got Martha's Vineyard over here, right? Recent developments led me to believe the time is ripe for an invasion. Well, not an invasion, so more as annexation. Mobilizing our ships past a naval blockade and sending aircraft over there to formally invade MB could be real, I say. Turn our cold conflict into a hot one too fast. But for a couple months now, our guys have been laying groundwork on that island, in pretty much the same way we did here, but on a bigger scale. You know how it is here? It is just like thousands of empty hammer homes that can be easily occupied. The infiltration has already been underway. I just have to send the signal and our guys take over the whole territory more officially, like raise our flag, crush the police, chase them all out. Then we put out some sick content online to formalize the annexation, show how successful it was and how easily the whole place fell. It's just as much about good propaganda as it is actually expanding our territory so we can show the government we can be contained and push around that easily. Well, we'll have a lot more leverage for the next phases of the operation. She doesn't like. So what do you think of the plan? Are you satisfied that I have actual strategy yet? That I'm not just bullshitting my way through this? She's going to have a breakdown. What? Oh my god, what's funny? This is your plan? To invade Martha's fucking vineyard? Not invade, annex. I don't believe this! It's a lot. It's serious. It's a serious plan. It's fucking ridiculous. We can barely run one island as it is. Thousands of people here are sick. We're surrounded by the fucking Navy. They could shut off the power and supply chains anytime, really. Or just red some of the island if they finally get fed up. You want another island to deal with? Yeah, why not? What about the fucking treaty? You said an non-aggression pact, and it was a miracle the government even allowed that in the first place. Believe me, I haven't forgotten about the piece of shit treaty. And it wasn't a miracle, it was just a lie. Something the government used to buy them some time while they figured out the best way to wipe us out while defusing the ticking time bombs all the mainland Jubilites represent. They have no intention of honoring the treaty in the long run. When has America ever bothered with that? So I'm just doing what I always do. The best defense, no, the only defense, is to always stand on the offense. I'm preparing in advance for the moment they read the treaty up. It will encourage Jubilites everywhere to stake more claim over to the rest of the country if they can secure more territory for the homeland. Wow. Yeah, don't murder fucking liberals. Oh my god. Homeland? See, you moved here 3 years ago. You know what I mean. It wasn't even the homeland of the people we just kicked out. Nantucket is a native word. If we start talking about things that way, aren't we just like we're just doing like the things we say were bad. It wasn't even the homeland that people we just kicked. Nantucket is a native word. If we start talking about things that way, aren't we just doing like the things we said were bad? I don't know. I think I'm losing the plot here. It's perfectly simple. Yes, American imperialism is evil, so we are taking a stand against it, and the only way to do that is to capture and repurpose territory in order to weaken America, and this must be done even if we are not the original inhabitants of the land, because we have no choice. Otherwise, we'd have to sit back and say, go ahead, keep being evil, America, because we are all a bunch of pussies to claim anything for ourselves, get it? Yeah, I do, but are you really telling me you don't see any humor or absurdity to the fact that you are in my living room with a bunch of fucking maps plotting an invasion, or excuse me, an annexation of Martha's fucking backyard? A few months ago you were struggling to wake up before 3 PM and cringe posting on TikTok! Well, I pulled my shit together largely thanks to you, in case you forgot, and actually no, I don't see anything that's funny about my annexation plans. It's serious shit. I'm fighting for our lives here. Why are you having a sudden attack of self-awareness and calling all this funny? It's not funny. You don't have to contribute to our planning sessions if you don't want to, but don't start treating me like a joke. I own fucking helicopters, bitch. The kinds that fucking have fucking missiles. I got like anti-aircraft jams all over this fucking island. I'm moving billions of dollars of deadly hardware around. Tanks and shit. Stop laughing. Nobody else in the world is laughing at me. They're all afraid of what I'm gonna do, and the ones who aren't are on pins and fucking needles anticipating my next move with zealous devotion. Fucking Russia fell, you silly bitch. You know who did that? Me! I did it! You have any idea how many nuclear weapons Russia has? Something like 7,000. I looked it up. Now I'm the one who controls their nukes. Do you actually though? Yeah? Why couldn't I? The secret Jubilite movement in Russia looks to me for leadership. I've talked to those guys. They love me over there. They're just like my American fans. It's a whole army of simps who could do anything I said. Okay, and have you actually put that to the test? I mean, not yet. I've been fucking busy here. What could I even tell them to do? That's a pretty good question. Seems like a question someone who was just bragging about assuming full control over Russia should be able to answer. I don't think you really get how this works. I'm the supreme hunk effects of a global movement. I need to be able to delegate, like, let the Russian guys figure shit out over there, because I don't really know how anything works there. But you weren't just saying that you have the control in the country now with all their nukes. So like, what could you even plan to do with those snakes? Like, nothing. That's what you're fucking supposed to do with them. Just let them sit there menacingly. It's about deterrence and shit. Didn't you play Metal Gear? Is that what the game is about? I thought it was just a super long yaoi series. Well, of course it is, but it's also about that. Ooh, hello, Squido! I'm not trying to mess with you here. I'm just trying to follow whatever your logic is. You control Russia and its nukes, but you won't use the nukes because obviously that's insane. So what does controlling that country even mean? How are you using that to your advantage when you defend us from American aggression? Well, first of all, now if the US wants to attack us, it's almost like attacking Russia, right? They have to consider global retaliation possibilities, like any basic geopolitical alliance. I may actually want to play Metal Gear at some point. Sure, but if you keep escalating with the government, have you really thought about what that alliance means? There's a reason Russia and all its nukes never fucked with America, because if they tried, it could be a huge mess, like World War III, then the nukes might start going off, and if that happens, everyone loses. So it seems like all you're really doing here is creating situations that are inclusively elaborate stalemates. Yeah, I think you have just fucking described the basic objective of international politics through all of world history. I still don't know what your point is. You also seem to be taking it as a given that the coups in Russia and wherever else are resulting in stable situations. Are you even sure about that? Now that you have a bunch of clowns occupying the Kremlin or whatever, do you have any idea what sort of government they are going to establish? Yeah, a better one. Is there a president? Do they have a parliament or something? Is there a constitution? Yeah, the Jubilite manifesto. Your manifesto doesn't even say anything about running a country! It's mostly a bunch of absurd clown lore that came from your dreams and a lot of historic gender theory, half of which we both pulled out of our ass one day, and a detailed manual of how to prank rich people out of their money. There's nothing at all about governance of how to actually apply our socialist ideas in the form of a coherent state that emerges from the vacuum after all these revolutions you're causing. Did you even think about any of this? Of course I didn't! Because my fucking clown manifesto wasn't supposed to make me accidentally take over the world! It was just some preposterous shit I wrote for fun, and also possibly because I'm super fucked up and have brain problems. And one thing led to another, so all I could ever do was focus on survival. Rather than mainline, but I can get played college mode, you know, out of your head. That's amazing, yeah. Fucking Senator Armstrong. I haven't even had time to think about what the best way to manage society could be. The forces we're fighting won't even give us time to think about it. I feel like I can't even breathe. The stuff we're up against is suffocating. So all I can do is put my full attention on trying to defeat them. Once we have achieved total victory, there will be plenty of time to sort out how to run a government and shit. But all that is happening now? Or collapsing countries literally need those answers right now? Or what? You're so fucking laughing. Why are you laughing at me? I'm sorry, I can't help it. I think I had too much weed and the situation is just... I can't even handle this fucking conversation. To think the fate of the world hangs in the balance of what the fuck is this world doing here? Stop laughing at me. That's so fucking uncool. Okay, maybe I don't have a perfect post-revolution plan, so fucking what? That doesn't take anything away from what I have accomplished here. I fucked around a bit this summer and practically brought the whole world to its knees. Do you have any idea how shit this country was? How bad life was for people who don't have billionaire parents? Have you even grasped yet how this pandemic exposed we were already living in a failed state? Well, who the fuck was doing anything about it? Obama? His right sidekick grandpa? Your cake pop boys? Nobody was saying I'm the one who got to kick the shit out of the country. I'm the one who lit a fire under everyone's ass to rip our capitalist nightmare state apart, while all the other weaklings were content to wait around for useless elections to solve their problems. And now you, of all people who helped me do all of this, have the audacity to laugh at me like I'm some shitty child throwing a tantrum. Well, fuck this. So what if it's some throwing a tantrum? Fuck these maps. Fuck Martha's Vineyard. You're fucking right. I do not need a plan for fucking annexation. When I want Martha's fucking Vineyard, I'll snap my fingers and Martha's Vineyard will be fucking mine. Do you even know who you're dealing with? Does anybody fucking know yet? I am Z! I am the successor to Riotous, Lord Queen of the Jubilites. I am conquering this pathetic planet 100 times faster than even he managed to. And you want to know what funny thing, dear Abigail? It wasn't even hard. And table flip. Oh! Wow. See, I'm sorry for laughing about you. You're right. There's no point in asking all these questions now. I should have brought this up a lot earlier, back when we could have made better plans for the aftermath of all of this. I was just as caught up in it as you were. It was fun, Z. The most fun I've ever had with anyone. I didn't want to ruin it with stuff with like moral confrontations or whatever. I think mostly I was doing it because I just wanted you to like me. See. Oh, missile flip! You hear a distant explosion somewhere. Huh. On the mainland? Oh shit, the power's out. Missile Bip, check if the blackout is only here or the whole island. This better not be what I fucking think it is. She indicates her phone isn't getting any internet service. Fuck, what is happening? They might be making the move. If that's what's going on, they're going for it a lot sooner than I thought they could. Who? Who do you think? The fucking government. Gotta switch it to our satellite internet backup system. Need to figure out what's happening on the rest of the island. Missile Dip, come give me a ha. Oh boy! It begins. Oh boy, it begins. Oh boy. 10 minutes, but if anything happens to her, you will kill everyone on the island and then yourself. Well, get ready! Get ready. Also, Abby's breath could work very well. Jesus Christ. What the fuck is happening? I don't know. A group of hostile Jubilites appear to be The aggressors here, a pack of familiar clowns you haven't seen in a while. Not since tightening up your inner circle, your guards sprang into action defending the compound. Oh, it's a clown uprising! Oh fuck! Ah! Abby, get somewhere safe. Safe where? Head to the basement, I'll take care of this. Oh! Oh! Oh, missile beep! Get the fuck off me! Honk. It's 2 clowns. What are you going to do? Oh my god! Oh? Flare? 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 Oh god! How many fucking weapons do you need? It begins! Oh boy! Oh! No, missile bitch! Missile bitch, please survive! Game over. No! 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 Hussy! Declassy! No! Declassy is dead! He died to protect Hasselhoff! Stop styling, please. Stop. Just fucking. Look at Declassy. Who? It's going to be Abby. She's going to have closest weapon. Oh no, she... Bonk. Just in fucking time to... Stop doing that! That is so over the top, come on. Well, that just happened. That just fucking happened. Is it the ending? Classy threw the gun. I was expecting Abby to catch the gun and shoot him. And like be like, I am getting involved now. Everyone is dead though. She has so many. Everything keeps going off the rails all the time. Who put you up to this? Bonk. Nope, she's not taking risks. I am in a permanent state of shock though. Missile Bip is the only fucking fucker I trust. Oh my god. Flare is so good. You hear screaming, it's Abby. It sounds like it's coming from outside of the house. Oh god, yo, she's not hurt. No! Abby, thank god you're okay. Oh god, you're hurt. Oh god. Abby, I'm so... Please, I can't. Just stay back. You can't do this, see? You have to stop pulling me back in. Can't you say this is ruining me? I'm losing everything. My parents, my house, my poor horse. I think I even lost you. You're still here, but you're not. I lost the person you used to be. You used to be to this insanity, and I have to go. What? Please? Where? No. Please don't, Abby. I'm leaving the island right now. I just have to go. I'll take a jet to South Korea. I don't even care if it'll grant me asylum. My hair can't take another second of this. Abby, goodbye, see. Hazard, no. God. Oh god. Oh no! Hasselhoff, I'm sorry, David. I failed you. I failed Abby. I failed everybody on this island. Maybe everyone in the world. I'm so sad. I can't take this. I should probably just go with her, shouldn't I? Who did this to you? Who did all of this? It was a fucking murdering. But how did this start? Who's a rat? Miss Lip informs you she found this on the body of one of the Murenos clowns. She meekly asks you if you have any idea what it could mean. Never mind. I'm not going anywhere. Oh my fuck. Later, the sun has gone down and Abby's house is all but lost to the fire, but not before you and Mistlebip rescued some needed equipment and retreated to the horse barn. You have hooked the satellite internet dish and router up to a portable power source. Mistlebip offered her phone's backup battery, which still had enough juice to power the setup for a while. This allowed you to spend some time catching up online with what just happened. You communicate with others on the island who have rigged similar setups. It's as you thought, the government blew the underwater lines that power everything here. They detonated the bombs on this side of the water, which means there could be any number of birds deployed, not just the ones you and Mistlebip just took out. You find it utterly contemptible. The CIA, they're up to their old shit, embedding agents in enemy countries, engaging in subversive activity, trying to topple governments from within. You should have known this would be the play. You just didn't think they could be this blatantly aggressive this soon. They're breaking the treaty a lot earlier than you thought they would. Well, that's a decision that will come at a steep price. You scrap all your plans, everything about the carefully plotted annexation of Martha's Vineyard. All your patient long game stuff, every bit of it is going in the garbage. You're about to start winging it. During this entire campaign, you've always felt at your most powerful when you're improvising, when your survival instincts are kicking in. That's when your enemies have always had the most to fear, and tonight will be no exception. You begin relaying messages to everyone on the island who has a connection. You tell them to get the word out wherever they can. She's going to address everyone in person. You target the local high school, which has been vacant for months. You notice on the map it has a football field with bleachers. This should be perfect. By habit, you open your ongoing text message with ring 3, but quickly close it. No use texting a bunch of dead clowns, half of which turned out to be traitors. You work your way further down the chain of command and give everyone the message to spread. Meet at the field at midnight, light it up whatever they got, headlights and bonfires. Missile Beep will stream what you say via satellite. You will speak to your people when they need you most. You will speak to the entire world. Midnight comes. Oh! Your eyes scan the dark landscape for the high school. It's not hard to spot at all from a great distance. Looks like they got the message. The field is full of clowns fervently anticipating the arrival of their supreme honkifics. Even from 1,000 feet above, you can tell the atmosphere is electric. My god, I know. Little is more important than the skillful implementation of theatrics, and this nation is about to be brutally reminded. Another video. The bass, though. It begins. God. Oh boy. God, look at how many fucking clowns there are. Oh. There she is. To the bleachers. You're my missile bit monarchs, thank you.
Oh, there she is.
Oh my god! So many of them. Is that a furry? There was a furry! I saw a fursuit. The manifesto or... No, what is in the back? The United States of America has begun its siege against us. They cut the power, shrouding this island in darkness. But does this football field look dark to you? You brought your own fire to the field, flooded the pitch with your high beams, and I can see you. I can see all of you, and so can the world. They actually believe this will work. They believe we will cower. They believe we will whimper, then snap at each other like dogs and fight amongst ourselves. That our resolve will deteriorate, that we will tuck our tails and run the moment we lose electricity. The moment we can't check our phones all day, the moment we are forced to log off, that is how much they think of us. That is how they think. What they think we're made of. That the moment we wonder about the future of our ability to eat, the moment we fear the walls will close in and their troops will storm our shores, they think our fear will cause our members to peel off, scatter, and disband while the rest of us watch our depleting ranks get back in their boats and fuck off back home. But they forget to take one thing into consideration. This is our hope now! They believe we are afraid, but I am standing in front of all of you for the first time, and I don't see any fear here, I only see determination. Don't you understand how much they tip their hands? When they show how much they think they will fear them, it's for one reason only. It's because they are the ones who are afraid. They project the fear of what we stand for onto us. And because they see us, their own fear in us, they presume we will shatter under the very kind of pressure that they know will shatter them. You hear how they talk about us in the corporate media? You see the stories, the contentious tone, the fucking finger wagging. They look at our gatherings from their aerial footage, spying on us from the safety of the studios, insulated by the enormous salary. And they judge and they scold. They say, look at these fools. Shouldn't they be sheltering in place like the rest of the country? Shouldn't they be getting ready to vote in another hollow election? Shouldn't they just be going home and restoring the country to the very sense of order and comfort that was fucking lost? The order and comfort that never even fucking existed. But look at our situation. What choice do we have but to gather together when faced with our own annihilation? How convenient it is for the rich media personalities and political hacks to sit there in hypocritical reprimand, telling us we all need to stay apart, when their own genocidal response to this pandemic has shown us all how badly the vermin who hold power need to be overthrown. There's this lame fucking landmark in America, a place kids go on field trips, you see, pretty close to where I grew up. It's called Plymouth Rock. I remember when I went to see it and I thought, that's it? It's fucking tiny. You picture the rock of Gibraltar or whatever. The only thing's only like 6 feet wide. It is a pitiful little pellet, and that's exactly what it reminded me of. Like a fucking BB, a sad little iron ball, like something a rabbit could shit out, shoved into an antique musket and fired the fuck across the Atlantic Ocean. It embedded itself in the flesh of this land long ago, making a faint pockmark that could have healed quickly. But there was one problem. The spell was laced with poison. It stabbed through the veins of this land gradually, east to west, surging up and down through past arteries like the Mississippi. It put rot in the soil, and we were born onto it, forced to walk it, and pretend the land under our feet isn't in agony from the atrocities wrought by this poison. That's all I could think when I was a kid on my field trip to that little rock. I kept asking myself, why was this ever enshrined? But today, finally, it makes sense to me. It's enshrinement. It's a glaring acknowledgement of the shallow moral basis for the so-called American experiment. The size of that shitty little pebble symbolizes the moral strength of this nation's settlement and subsequent conquest. Celebrating that rock is almost like an American in-joke, and the punchline is that there's no moral basis for the establishment of this nation at all. The foundation of which America was built is disease, rotten, and the absolute brink of societal collapse. Is where these fools run got us. I see that little pebble and I see a fucking range heart. And no matter how much Who Bill sings, I promise you, this is one heart that will never even grow 1 inch bigger. So fuck that pitiful rock. But this whole island, this is our fucking rock. It is a billion times bigger, stronger, and rooted deep into the ocean. It is not fucking going anywhere, and neither are we. The revolution we begin today has orders of magnitude more clarity and righteousness than whatever the fuck was on the minds of those raggedy, murderous settlers who washed up on the shores long ago. So I want to make something fucking clear to whoever's listening out there. In no uncertain terms, I am now declaring it is our intention to completely and utterly destroy the United States government. We will replace this vile, corrupt, imperialistic farce known as American democracy and replace it with a mode of governance that is not intrinsically predicated on centuries of terror and genocide, and one that has instead meets every need of its people without excuse or compromise. What has this nation really given you? What do you have to show for your unconditional allegiance? Your patience, your sense of duty, your votes, and your good faith. All of it is rewarded by what exactly? A choice between two demented, corrupt, bubbling, elderly rapists. Your lifetime of devotion has earned you the honor of existing in the one nation on earth which has far and away the worst conceivable response to a global disease, which may as well be an advanced version of the fucking flu. These liars, frauds, conmen, and charlatans who fill the ranks of the media corporations, political parties, and government, these are bastard weaklings who you could continue simping for? Enough! Give up on this failed state once and for all and join us as we rise up! To all in the government who could try to suffocate us on this island, who fear me, who want nothing more than to crush all of us here and be done with it, know this. Not a single soul on this island is who you have to worry about anymore. Who you must worry about now is everyone else in this fucking country. We are everywhere. We are pissed. We are resolute. And we will fucking destroy you. We will burn the apparatus which keeps all of you rich and powerful. We will cast all those ashes into the sea and we will rest rest at nothing until we have completed our mission. Jubilites of America! Jubilites of the world, make yourselves seen, make yourselves heard. This is a war, and I may have started, but tonight I am trusting all of you to finish it. Mic drop. Oh my god. Huh? Oh my god. Okay, let me read. Sorry, I was. Speech amazingly great. That's not a furry, that's a rat. Feet with jiggle. Rat gender. Beat gender. 3 furries in the crowd. Wait, there's more than 2 for the back. For Clona. There's way more furries. Internet connection is down in 5 minutes. Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! Internet connection is going to be down in a little bit. Give me a second. God, I'm so glad it didn't cut in the middle of that. I love the art so much. Yeah, it's so good! Look at these colors. It's going ham. Oh my god, just, yeah. And my voice acting, thank you! Go apeshit, you know, you should, oh, thank you. Okay, so, I'm going to BRB because things are going to cut off in a little bit. So, okay. Okay, so audio is not going down, so that's good. Let me put the game back up. God, that was an amazing speech. What the fuck? God, I had a lot of fun just fucking speaking it. You know, this is between yourself and the football field, Gerald, that you suddenly notice the silence. It's a disturbing silence, a loud one. Like the one you noticed that fateful night 4 months ago. The noise made by the ominously humming well of satanic potential. The noise you can never hear unless you think to listen for it, and by the time you notice you're listening, it's too late. You can't stop hearing it. Paint looks on the punk vibes like this is you feeling like I bet, right, Jackie? And once you're tuned to it, you begin noticing other sounds you can be sure weren't there before, like the sounds of distant aircrafts becoming less distant with each passing moment. Were those military planes cruising there before? And what about those? There's always aircraft probing your island. It's nothing new, but did your speed change anything? Are these ones closing in? Are these the ones that will finally end it all? You listen more closely. You can tell. All you can hear is the damn silence, the humming in your head, going on and on, sounds you made the mistake of noticing. The devil is humming a quiet little tune at you, almost like he's just been amused. And you doubt he's ever found much cause to express pleasure unless many people are about to die. See? No. Ooh, missile pip. What the fuck did I just do? Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. I don't know what to say. I literally do not know what to say. I honestly have no fucking clue what to say right now. A sword and a crown. Ooh. But this will continue next time. Because right now... Yes. Right now, we are stopping this. So, who's ready to go to war? I am not even going to put, like, background music. I am just in shock. I am. This story has gone places I did not think it was going to. I am. Wow. So, I'm going to be going to have dinner now, and I hope you all enjoyed, and I will be doing my final Psycholonial stream next week. Finale time. God, my fucking god. Yeah, I'm just... Oh yeah, Jackie Myers. Okay, give me one. No. Okay, so Jackie Myers, our lovely punk clown vampire here, is going to be playing some River City Girls very soon after this stream. So, if you would like to continue enjoying some quality streaming time, you may as well drop by their stream and, you know, just wind down after such an intense time over there. I have to go remove this face paint. By the way, it's like getting runny. So, I hope you all have an amazing day, and as usual, I will be seeing you next time. Have a good night, everyone. Up. Keep the notes on how you did. I will. Good night. Mama. Love you all. Love you.